That is Leroy Green. That's Super Duper. This is the Weekend Rhyme. We back at it again. Today, we got a jam-packed show. We got what everybody's talking about, Nas and Premo Light Years, the reactions from the internets, the cloth, the hip-hop heads, the people. They talking about it. I know Super's got some opinions. Leroy, he had some opinions on the last show. He got some more today. We're going to talk about what happened to the streets, 21 Savage. Can the streets be saved? What really happened to the streets? What does that mean? Also, the return of Pooh Shiesty, Memphis' own, first day out. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the Game. Every movie needs a trailer. DJ Drama. Is Game the best in the West? Is the Game the best in LA? Is the Game the best in Compton? We're gonna talk about it. Also, we'll talk about a little bit about the 50 Cent Netflix documentary, Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Was it necessary? Was it needed? Did we learn anything new? How do we feel about that? Also, we're gonna give a big shout out to John Cena. John Cena really was one that brought hip hop. Well, not really brought it. He made hip hop mainstream in wrestling. Hip hop was in wrestling before John Cena. He's had his last match this weekend. We'll give him props. And Leroy had a great weekend in LA. He mixed it up with some folks on the West Coast. So we're gonna get into it. So we're gonna start off first today. We're gonna talk about this Light Years album. Okay, I want to start off real quick and say this album was highly anticipated. People were waiting for this album. I think on Scratch Magazine, they teased it maybe 20 something years ago. 25, 30 years in the making. You know, Premier Nas first hooked up on Illmatic. Premo did 3 songs, Represent, Memory Lane, New York State of Mind. He also worked on all of that, the first 5 albums of Nas's career. You know what I'm saying? I Gave You Power. He did Nas's Like. He did so many different things, right? New York State of Mind Part 2, Come and Get Me. And now, last year they teased, they put the song out, Define My Name. And this weekend, December 12th, we received Light Years, something that was in the making for a very long time. Now, I was one, and I know I've told Leroy this in super and separate conversations. I was one that didn't have my hopes up, right? It was kind of like hip-hop's expectations were too great for this album. And I said this to Leroy last time. I said, it's like waiting for like the sequel of Avatar or something, right? You waited 20 joints for it. And yeah, Avatar 2 was good. It had its moments. We enjoyed it. But it was just is what it was. I mean, I'm different 20 years ago. The hip hop fans are different 20 years ago. In technology and movies is different 20 years ago. I liken it to Pacquiao and Mayweather, right? We wanted that fight when it was in their prime. It didn't happen, but when we saw the fight, we still pulled up. We still had parties. We still enjoyed it. And the final point to it, I think that we should just celebrate 2 hip hop legends coming together, making music, still being relevant in the game. I know Nas is doing different things in technology, in the crypto space. Premier, his body of work is legendary. I heard people on the internets and different pods say that he has to some type of how redeem himself, or they didn't like the beats. But I listened to the album 2 or 3 times, and it grew on me after I listened to it a few times. And I think we should just celebrate the moment, kind of like we celebrated Tom Brady his last season. He's not going to be what he was, the first run when they beat the Falcons.
So who you talking about right now? You talking about Nas or Premo?
I'm talking about just the whole project as a whole.
The whole project.
I'm not isolating nobody. I'm not isolating nobody in a situation.
I'm gonna keep it real though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, on first listen, second listen, third listen, it's still a disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Like, the album in general, like, as far from a production standpoint. So I get why people was like kind of kicking Premo back in a little bit, but at the same time, I gotta give it to Nas on this. I think that Nas rapping dope as hell. Like, I think that Nas is still like in his prime a little bit as far as rhyming and rapping and being over beats. And the real disappointment in the album ain't Nas, it's the beats. Like, Nas is really out rapping the production on here. So that's really the problem with it. It's a great sign for me. I mean, Nas so dope right now that when you produce some shit for him, you gotta make sure you come with some fire, because if you don't and he out rapping your beat, you gonna get what the supreme treatment right now, what Premo getting. So I think that it's a little bit of an overreaction to Preem too. I don't think that the production is as bad as people want to make it seem like some of it's a little flat. You know, it's not a riding a car speaker booming, like, you know, it's not gonna have no real, it don't have no real bump on here. I would say that. But as far as the production, I mean, it's not as bad as people trying to make it seem. Like, you know what I mean? I think people kind of overreacting.
What say you, Leroy?
Well, for me, I'm happy with it. You know, it's like, have you ever heard a producer match Nas with a beat? I haven't heard that, not since '94. So I don't think there is a producer that could. I mean, sometimes that happens, right? Like you have a producer that matches the artist, like Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Jay, Kanye. You know, like you'll have that happen. Ti, Toomp, or whatever. But like over the years with Nas, he's always kind of had an issue with finding the producer to match him. You know what I'm saying? With what he's doing lyrically. That's just my opinion. Like I don't see him being matched a lot. You know,
listening to this album made me want to call 1-800-Nas a hit. I ain't gonna lie, like it did really. Like it made me appreciate the Hit Boy production even more.
Okay.
But
and
like
see me, yeah, I never got into the Hit Boy. It's something about, and that doesn't mean he's not nice. Bro is nice, but for me personally, I never really got into it like that. You know,
it made me appreciate like the beat switches and things like that Hit Boy was doing for Nas to like highlight his rap. Like for me, these beats don't really do anything to elevate Nas's raps. You know what I'm saying? Like Nas is kind of he outshining the beat so heavy that you really can't do nothing but point out how flat the beat may sound or how unfinished it is. Like especially for a Premo beat, when you listen to Premo beats on a traditional level, they really don't have as much empty space as these beats do. These beats got like they flat and they kind of lazy loops for a Preem beat. It's not very musical. It's not like a lot to the beat.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the disconnect for me. Like I don't want to hear Premo be musical. I don't want to hear him be clean. I don't want to hear him be engineered nice. I want to hear dirty, grimy, not musical. That's just, you know what I mean? Like, so I got what I wanted. Like I just went to,
you think these beats is dirty and grimy though?
Bro, people hate the song New York State of Mind 3. When I listen to that song, it sounds like the Dark Knight overlooking Gotham. I don't know how people are upset because I'm just hearing nasty hard. Like I was messing with it. The first beat too was so hard to me. I'm doing 100 in the express lane off that first song. Now people saying the first song's not dope. I missed it. I don't understand, because I'm rocking with it. I don't understand. Riders is fire. Madman fire. I don't understand what's not dope. Underground,
New York State
I
of
like
Mind.
it. Now, don't get me wrong. Pause tapes. I could go without pause tapes. I could go without Bouquet. I could go without. I mean, there is songs like the song The Time. I think it's The Time. The Time. Yeah. I could go without some songs. Even Nasty Esco. That one, Nasty Esco.
I like that one.
I could go without that.
I like that one.
But I don't.
I like that. I like the concept of that. I like the concept of that record. I like the concept of that record.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest about that song.
You still have fire to me too. Like half the album is fire to me.
Coming from Nas, Nas doing that Esco.
What's up?
Song. I think it's
Ron, you checked out, man. What's going on? But half the album. But with me, like I was about to say, I just went to Taco Bell, right? Taco Bell or any fast food, you get what you expect. Like if I go to Taco Bell and I get a burrito, right? I know how the burrito tastes. They're not gonna surprise me. So that's what I got with Nas and Premo. Like I know what this album is, and I was happy with just getting just that. I don't want Premo to do nothing else.
I think I hear you, Super. I think Leroy, your audio cut out, bro. You can't hear us.
You.
Come in.
Hopefully y'all hear me. But
go out and come back in. Go back and come back in.
You're gonna go out and come back in?
Yeah, I can hear you. Ron.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, New York State of Mind Part 3, man, was you know, I like the album. I want to put it in very plain context. I think that the album has its highlights, but my expectations were met. I didn't have high expectations going into it because I understand that time is undefeated. I think this album should have been out maybe 20 years ago when they were at the peak of their powers. And I think we've all changed. The audience has changed. Hip hop has changed. They have changed as an MC and producer. So I'm not expecting, even the business of music has changed. They come from the CD era, as Super and I, we chatted in a private discussion. Now we in the streaming era. And I kind of thought the conversation that we were having, streaming really didn't kill music or didn't kill the way that we, you know, consume music from the CDs. It was actually Napster. And then when the internet got faster, folks was able to burn CDs. That cut into this actual distribution. When you can go to Walmart, get a case of blank CDs and then make some CDs, that cut out everything, right? So that kind of changed the game. The music business had to catch up and say, okay, I got to figure out a new way to monetize it and go get streaming. And now they got everybody on the hook. Like I said before, I know I've said this a million times. I don't know how many streaming services I got. I got every one. I only use one. I only use Spotify, but I'm getting billed for Apple because my daughter got it. I think Amazon. I said I got me an Amazon Alexa, so I think that came with Amazon Music. I got YouTube Premium that got with YouTube Music. So the music industry is getting money every month because back in the day, you might buy 1 or 2 CDs.
The artist not getting nothing.
Well, they never really got anything.
Nas is not gonna make nothing.
But I digress.
All the money's gonna go to the streaming. He ain't gonna get nothing for this.
But let me say this point though. New York State of Mind was my biggest disappointment because I just came back from New York and I text Super when I was in New York. I was like, I don't want to even say what I want to say because I don't want the conversation to go another direction. But I was like, I hope the New York State of Mind Part 3 is one of those ones, and it just didn't really connect for me. I just think they could have probably left it on. I maybe approached it a little bit differently, but that was the disappointment for me.
I you know, like I said, I think that we just all being too hard on the album in a slight way. You know what I mean? Because it is Nas and Premo. So, you know, with it being Nas and Premo, I'm still gonna say it's a disappointment. And just from a Nas level, like, you know, it's great, and we can all say that Nas held it down and Nas was rapping. Nas been rapping good, but from a song wise, I don't think none of these songs really stick like that for me either. Like they cool songs, like the song about, you know, Bouquet, the song for the ladies. The beat ain't bad on there, but do I really want to? Do I listening to this song on repeat? You know what I mean? Like I love the beat. It's cool that he did, and salute to the ladies. And you know, it's a song that should be made. It's great that Nas made it, but am I really gonna be listening to it again like that? You know what I mean? Like it's a song that it's not nothing that I'm gonna repeat. The song with AZ, My Story, Your Story. Like the beat is kind of bad. It's kind of, the beat is boring for them too. It's not grand enough for Nas and AZ getting back together in the booth for one. It's a letdown. And then like just the way it's produced and the way it sounds like they was like rapping with different microphones. Like Nas microphone sound different than AZ microphone, and it don't sound like they engineered it or they should have did something to make it sound a little bit more natural. But the song itself, it's like, you know, it's not I stand out enough to have like enough replay value for me. You know what I mean? I think that about a lot of these songs. Writers is cool. It's dope. The way Nas is rapping, dope, great. But am I listening to a song about graffiti? Like again, you know what I mean? The beat on there is not bad, but it's just like some of the songs and the subject matter of this. I think that they kind of missed some of the timing. I think like Writers would have been dope around the Hip Hop 50 time, like just to, you know, around that time it would have been great for that to come out around that time. Or beat what's the one? Pause Tapes. You know, I think people would kind of respect it, but the beats are still kind of, you know, subpar. You know what I mean? Especially on Pause Tapes. Nas out rapping the shit out of that beat on Pause Tapes. I love the way Nas flowing on there. But once again, you know, I got to give Nas a little bit criticism on here too, as far as that. Like we had Preem neck, but these songs ain't really that memorable and like replayable from Nas either. You know what I mean? But the beats didn't help it.
I mean, I think Nas is kind of like all his albums in a way are things that you listen to like a few times a year, like once a year. I don't think you listen to Nas albums like back to back or like, you know what I mean? It's not. I don't think he's that type of dude.
These was on repeat for me. All of the King
I
Disease,
mean,
all of the Magics, I was playing them.
okay, yeah. I mean, with the Hit Boy, for me, it's not even that Hit Boy's bad. It's just I know that Hit Boy makes beats for a group. He's not making beats for the one each rapper. He's making beats for the group, and whoever gets it, because he's a working producer. Like, you make beat tapes for the whole label, then the label takes it. But you know, and I got what I wanted with Nas. Here's the thing with Nas lyrically, right? And I'll use No Malice as an example, even though I feel like Malice didn't quite go far enough. No Malice or Malice is trying to balance his religion with the street. That's very difficult to do. I don't know how many people could really do that. I don't think I could do that, or somebody else. You know what I mean? Because it's two completely different sides of the spectrum. How do you write like that? You know, and so with No Malice's level of difficulty, I think that was great. And the reason why I bring him up in comparison to Nas, right? I think one of the hardest things to do as a lyrical guy, especially a street guy, is to be vulnerable. Like, I think that's the highest level, right? Because you're used to being you know, the tough dude, machismo or whatever. But that vulnerable, that's a cheat code, bro. That's how a lot of greats became legends. It's because they made something that was emotional or vulnerable, and that just blew them out the water. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really hear that from Nas. That doesn't mean he's not incredible, but that one part of like, bro, show me where you weak at. We know you strong, but show me where you're vulnerable.
I gotta disagree. I gotta disagree a little bit, Leroy. I gotta disagree. I gotta disagree a little. Well, yeah, you know, he had this song, you know, on this is talk specifically about this album. He had the song Sons. I think a song called Bouquet. Bouquet comes from a place from vulnerability, bigging up the ladies. Even doing a song like Writers, you know what I'm saying? You know, he giving people, you know, props that was part of one of the elements of hip hop. So I think he shows vulnerability.
I mean, even Third Childhood, like, you know, he's still rapping about, like, you know, like he's still rapping about, like, yeah, I'm a rapper. I'm proud to be a rapper. Like, I shouldn't be ashamed to be a rapper. Like, I feel that, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I mean, and of course, we don't want to have to argue about Nas, but I mean, of course, he got.
I mean, we should though. He's he got one of the greatest.
As far as vulnerability, I mean, I don't think you're getting more vulnerable than Life Is Good. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, he's always been vulnerable.
When people say that to me, Nas sounded so comfortable and so happy. And like, when I listen to Life Is Good, he sounds so happy to me that I don't know the vulnerability that people are hearing. Because I hear him, he's having
all throughout the rap. I think it's all throughout the raps. But on this album, like I said, man, I really think that, you know, I like My Life Is Real. I think that's cool. I'm not a fan of the piano.
That was fire.
I like it. I like the way Nas is rapping. Like I said, once again, you can't say anything bad about the way Nas is really rapping throughout the whole album. So that's a common thing. But just for song-wise, the songs that I could say that I actually like and come away with, that I would play or put on a playlist, I'm gonna go with My Life Is Real. Get Ready is dope. Madman is fire. I like Sons. The beat is cool for Sons. I'm not kicking the Premo back in for the Sons beat. I understand why it's cool. Sound the way it sounds. It's cool. It go with the song. It's Time. I love the Time. Sample. You know what I mean? I love that beat. So I'm not kicking Premo back in for that beat. That's a cool beat. Shine Together and Third Childhood, songs I like. So is it a disappointment?
That's a good album then.
It's a great album. Like, I still think it's a great album. I honestly do. I do think it's a great album. I do. But some of these songs and some of the beats on there, I understand why people are like, it could have been better given the two people that it is. And I understand. But as you let the album sit on you, some of these songs will grow on you a little bit more. But it's not no real banger on here. Like, I feel like it's not a Thun on here. There's no Blue Bentley. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, there's not like this.
It's no Never Die. Never Die with Lil Wayne was a banger on Magic 3, you know.
I think if you say something sucks before it comes out, it sucks, no matter what comes out the speakers, because
But I
you've
also,
already told your mind it sucks.
Well, I don't like I told you last time. I don't think nobody thought this album was gonna suck. I just thought people's
But they
expectations
thought this
were wildly unrealistic. People were saying it's gonna be the best
niggas
album of
calling
all
Primo.
time. It was kind of like
I mean, but
it was similar to the Dr. Dre and Snoop talk. People were saying
Don't
it's gonna be
get
the
it.
but
best
we do
album of
gotta
the
be
year.
honest though too. Like, let's be honest about what Preem has been doing the last. Like that Rock Marciano album was cool, but the production wasn't fire like that. The
I
Ransom
don't
album,
get it, man.
but the production wasn't fire on there. It wasn't like.
But my whole thing is like when people start comparing Hit Boy to Primo, and I'm not saying who is better than who. I do think Primo is better, but I'm not saying who's better than who. When you start to comparing sounds, I already know you're not listening because you wouldn't. Because comparing Primo to Hit Boy doesn't even really make
Well,
musical
nah,
sense.
I don't, no, Leroy, I don't think people are comparing Hit Boy to
That don't
Primo.
make sense.
They're comparing the quality of the albums. I think there's a difference. That's a
But
distinct.
that don't even make sense. Like Primo is DJ Premier. He's the only person with that sound. There are a lot of Hit Boys. I hate to break it to you, and that's no diss to Hit Boy, but there are
No,
numerous
I don't
Hit
know if
Boys in the game.
I don't know if I agree with that either, Leroy.
There
I
are
think
numerous Hit Boys in the game. Trust me.
this is the difference in what people really can. This is what the difference that you can see between the Hit Boy Nas run and the this Primo album, right? With the Hit Boy Nas run, you can actually you can hear that the beats and the production was inspiring Nas to rap. You know what I'm saying? Like it was inspiring him to rap the way he was rapping and make the songs that he was making. These beats don't
Right.
really sound like they inspired Nas to do nothing. Like Nas just kind of picked these beats and he did it and he chose. They didn't bring the best out of Nas. You know what I'm saying? At all to me, especially song wise. And that's why I think that a lot of these songs aren't like they don't really for me, they're not really going to stick around like that. None of these songs on here. Like I'm not
Missed
going to
it.
wake up. I'm not going to wake up in the morning and want to hear writers. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like I said, I love the way Nas is rapping. But like I said, it's a song about
You
graffiti.
know,
It's not like a song that I'm not. It's not a song that I can really listen to on a replay type of value. You know what I'm saying?
but like even that right? A song about graffiti. That's only for that's only for a chosen few. That's a certain class of people.
Right.
That's not supposed to connect with everybody. If you never jumped on a moving train to write your name, then you don't understand writers.
Right.
You know
Listen.
what I'm saying?
Listen.
Like, and that's no
Song
diss
is
to
dope.
nobody because I got friends who never wrote their name on no building or that would be stupid to them.
But Leroy,
As it,
I can't say if you never did a
nah,
particular activity that you can't really feel the
nah,
song like or
you
Project
got to
Pat,
do that.
Project
You
Pat,
got
You
Mr.
never.
Don't Play, all that shit he was talking about. I never did, but I felt it. You know what I'm saying?
well, I'm telling you like this: waiting on a train to go by in 1990. The train's going by slow, obviously, because we jump on it. We gotta jump the right way because if you don't, you could lose a leg. You know what I mean? So that feeling right there is in writers. Not too many people know what that's like.
And I
You
agree.
know,
Nas did a dope. It was a dope tribute. Great song for that song. But like I said, it's not a song that I'm gonna be really listening to on repeat. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. Now rapping his ass off on there. One of the best songs on here, to be honest with you. One of the best beats on here.
Right. Let's pivot. Let's pivot to the Joe Budden interview. I'm a video guy. If you guys don't know, I like cinematography. I like aesthetics. I really love how they set this interview up. It was shot kind of in a cinematic style. The angles they had, had an angle of Nas, you know what I'm saying? They shot it beautifully. Shout out to Joe Budden and his team at Joe Budden TV, Joe Budden Podcast to put it together. I thought it was beautifully done. I think Joe did a good job with the interview. A lot of the questions that he asked I kind of knew how they were going to answer. Wasn't really it was a respectful interview that really gave two hip hop legends the space to kind of talk about what they had created in this space and time. Nas kind of revealed a few things in the interview I thought that were interesting. Number one, he talked about Eminem was going to be on Daughters, but he declined because Eminem had promised his daughter that he wouldn't make any more songs about that. But Eminem appreciated that Nas wanted to work with him without kind of battling him. They just wanted to make a kind of a different type of song. So that never came to be. Nas also spoke about how he created a lot of different trends. He said he created, with Illmatic, the album with multiple producers were on the album. You had Large Professor, DJ Premier, Q-Tip, Pete Rock. So he talked about that. He talked about how he created the new wave of orchestra, hip hop going, getting the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra or the local orchestra to kind of do renditions of albums. I seen Gucci do it. I seen Gucci do it. I've seen Jeezy do it. Who else has done it?
Manny Fresh got a dope one.
Manny Fresh. I think Metro did it. Metro did it. Metro did it. Shout out to Metro. So it's a couple of different nuggets. DJ Premier talked about how he prides himself for being a DJ first, and which I thought was kind of funny because he said, he made this album thinking about, will you hear it out? Could a DJ mix it? You know what I'm saying? Could it be? And there's been a lot of criticisms with the beats. That's one thing that stuck out to me as well. He also talked about how he goes on social media to look at what different people are saying, even at his seasoned age. They OGs in the game. He goes out and listens to what people are saying. Probably listens to what we're saying as well. So they go out to these little podcasts and the internet. Oh, you also asked Nas, Joe Budden asked him about, I'm hearing a lot of rappers talk about podcasters too. I don't know if they're taking shots at us subliminally, but he asked Nas directly, how do you feel about, people like Mano and Jim Jones and Fabulous and Fat Joe and Jada getting into the game? And he said he thought it was cool. He said he thought it was good that the artists now are able to get into the pod game and talk about things. But I want to play a clip real quick, and I want to get both you, Super, and I want to get you, Leroy, to talk about this, because Super, you've been mentioning this a lot. I think one of the first things you wrote about the album, you said this. I want to play this real quick. Let me get it queued up. Boom, let's go.
Has it been simple or difficult to not alienate boom bap? Like, you've been boom bap, boom bapping for a long time.
I'm boom bapping.
And this album, you niggas are boom bapping. Has it been just easy to stay true to self? Has it been tempting to go another route or try some other shit?
Well, think about it. That wasn't even a category or a style of hip hop until KRS came out with Return of the Boom Bap, and it just seems like after that album was released and it did what it did, which was a great album to work with Capri and Showbiz and to be on that album. All of a sudden now categories started coming up, trap and bounce was first, when the South started to get their takeover time, and they start saying bounce music, and then all of a sudden they put boom bap as a category, which was not the intention. I think KRS was just like, it's back to that just head nod and snap your neck type shit. And now people actually call that a category. Now it is drill, now it is trap, now it is pop rap, it's mainstream, and then there's boom bap as a category. Where I'm like, wow, who would ever thought? So for me to be categorized as that type of a producer, even though I don't like to be put in just that box because I like versatility as a producer, because I'm raised on so much different type of music, I'll still wear that. And then as a fan, I miss when people don't do them just straight boom. It's gotta, it's something about that type of bounce. I just love that.
I love what you just said, because he said boom bap is his own chapter in rap music, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't consider myself a boom bap artist, but I'm honored to wear that when I have to, because I'm from that era too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like KRS owned that when he did that. But there is a sound. There is a sound. I feel like we did that. Mm-hmm. We did that.
No, y'all.
Super, you talked about boom bap a lot. You hit me up the first day. You said something. I'll let you say it on here. I'll let you say it. I won't put the words in your mouth. I'll let you tell the audience what you said.
I will gladly declare that boom bap is dead. I mean, boom bap been holding back New York rap for a long time. Boom bap is officially dead, and Premo just killed boom bap with his Nas album. I mean, I think the whole sound, New York and old rappers from New York and OGs in the game, they've been pigeonholed by boom bap, and I think it's been holding a lot of their careers back. Like the refusal to get off of they dying on that boom bap hill when the production isn't getting better than the 90s. Shout out to Mad Max, man, because Mad Max once said this on the show, and I definitely agree with him. If you're gonna make boom bap, modern boom bap, at least make it better than it was made in the 90s. There's no reason why these boom bap beats right now recently, these boom bap beats wouldn't fly back in 1992 or 3 or 4. You know what I mean? Like these boom bap beats that they're making right now will be weak and they'd be trash back then. So if it's not gonna be better, if you're not gonna make boom bap better, stop making it. Like for real. It's dead. I think it's dead anyway. So yes, I'm officially putting the death stamp on boom bap. Premo just killed it with his Nas album. Boom bap is dead. Boom bap is dead.
Leroy, what say you, sir?
Well, hip hop is dead too. You know what I mean? And if it's gonna be dead soon, because it's not built for what's to come. And boom bap is essentially hip hop. The boom and the bap comes from that sound. It's boom bap. That's the foundation. So it's not supposed to change. It's supposed to be the foundation. So if people wanted to change, I understand. So let's remove boom bap, right? If we take boom bap out. If you take boom bap out, then you're competing with Ariana Grande, you're competing with Adele, you're competing with pop singers that are better than the rappers. I'm sorry. Because once you take out boom bap, it's pop. It's not hip hop. It's pop.
Well, there's other sounds in hip hop other than boom bap.
Pop.
It's other sounds in hip hop, Leroy, other than boom bap. You got trap music.
Trap is pop now. Trap is pop. The Migos were the biggest group, like they're the Beatles. So if that's not pop music, I don't know what pop is. I don't know.
I think
because the Migos was like the Beatles.
That still would make like I think there's guys that still make what we could still consider boom bap beats, but they just do a better job of kind of keeping it fresh and kind of sounding
like Alchemist.
Like Alchemist, right? Like
that's fine.
I think
but
Alchemist
even Alchemist,
I think Alchemist does a great job with boom bap, but and like
right.
Playing with the drums, sometimes not leaning so hard on the boom bap sound and that boom bap drum.
I understand.
I think he does a great job. And if you're not, that's what I think. Like, if you're not going to play with the boom bap, at least the way Alchemist is doing it, and try to change it up. And
I understand. Once you take out Premo, Alchemist is going right out the door. He's not going to stand on his own without that. Now we could say that he is, and I got no problem. I love Alchemist, but I know this game. Once Premo goes, Pete Rock's going right out. He's going to be dead right after that. Alchemist is going to be dead right because the foundation to an Alchemist beat, if you remove all the distortion, the scratches, the beat switches, it's boom bap underneath Alchemist beats. It's there.
One of the topics we probably have to discuss this on another day, but one of the topics that we really do need to really talk about is we talk about the gatekeeping in hip hop and the gatekeeping as far as rappers, but I don't think it's nothing more gatekept than the production and the rappers. I mean, like not the rappers, but the producers. I mean, we've been running around saying the same names for years. We still run around talking about Timbo, Pharrell, Kanye,
right.
Rock. Where are the new producers? Other than it seems like the newest producer that I can say by name is maybe Metro that I can think of, the guy that kind of came up.
You got Metro. You got you got Zaytoven for a little bit. You had
you got the dudes from the South. But look, I'm just saying like this. You have to be wealthy. If you're not rich, you're dead. The game's not built for the common man anymore. If you are not a rich person, it's a wrap.
No, I gotta disagree, Leroy, because it's easier to make music.
Unless you can work harder than AI. Which I don't know if you could stay up 24/7.
I
don't think that I mean, music's always been organically from the street. I mean, it's always been.
That.
I mean, you got so many people with beat pro. I mean, I make beats. You got so many people with beat programs and that's making dope music anyway, just in their basement and at home. Like, I don't understand why it's not a nice new up and coming batch of young producers that's just out there that's kind of changing the game. I mean,
because they're chasing money. As long as you chase, and I don't knock you for chasing money because you have to eat. But someone's gonna have to say, "Fuck it, I don't even care about the money." And that whoever that person is, it's gonna be hard to find that person, bro.
I mean,
Because everyone else chasing money, they're gonna make what's popular, and they have to, because the game's at a point to where you gotta pay your bills. And if you're not making what's popular, how you gonna pay your bills?
I mean, just because something's not popular, it still could be good. I mean, I
But
don't.
you're gonna have to pay your bills.
I
You're
think
gonna have to make money.
I think we got to really dig in. There's lots of producers out there. I think that that are up and coming. I think we can't really we can't put all the old producers in the same category, because if you go back a year ago, the Auditorium Volume 1 with Pete Rock and Common, I think people received that a little bit differently. I think most people thought that was a very solid album. I didn't hear any criticisms about Pete Rock or his production.
I think I was the first person to call that album of the year in the entire internet.
So the only people that got criticized last year, and I think that we criticize, I mean, we can't criticize Alchemist. I think Alchemist has Life is Beautiful with Larry June and 2 Chainz this year. I think this, we're going to do our year-end wrap-up. He's an old school producer.
Alchemist is a boom bap head.
He might have, in my opinion, he has one of the best albums of the year. But let's go back to last year with the Auditorium Volume 1. I didn't hear the reaction of the internets. Most people regarded that album as pretty solid. People didn't come out the next day talking that Pete Rock.
I was cursing them out, Ron.
That's I know, but I'm gonna say you didn't hear it. Like Super, you sent me about 3 or 4 videos talking about the production on this Light Years. I didn't hear any of that when Pete Rock dropped the comment.
People were saying it was boring. They kept saying this album's boring, and I kept cursing them out.
I thought it was boring.
After me saying, man, y'all just don't know what dope shit is, and it's album of the year, I started declaring album of the year. And I don't mean to just honk my own horn, right? But I've been around hip hop my whole life, man. Me calling out something is not new. I've been doing that my entire life. So when I said it was album of the year, then all of a sudden people's opinions changed. Now, if it wasn't me, then cool. Go back to whoever you heard, whatever. But when I first heard people's opinion, they were saying it was boring. And I'm not mad at them saying it was boring. I know what they mean. But that's what they were saying. I'm not mad, but that's what they were saying.
So what's some key takeaways? Did y'all watch the interview? What did y'all think about the interview? How it was done? What's some key takeaways? Super, you go, then Leroy.
I mean, it was a typical Nas interview. I feel like Premo was talking a lot in the interview, and like now, like watching the interview is kind of like, I'm sure he's not getting the reaction that he thought that he would be getting. But yeah, I mean, it was a typical Nas interview. You know what I mean? I didn't really learn nothing majorly new. It was a typical Nas interview. Nas really, they said in the beginning of that interview, they both make a little joke about how much they hate doing press. And so, like, Nas not gonna give you too much in the interview. He's not gonna say too much. He's not gonna get too spicy. He's not gonna really talk too much. You know what I'm saying? And actually, he's been doing a lot of interviews lately too. So, I mean, I didn't learn nothing majorly from the album. You know what I mean? Other than that, Pete Rock was feeling himself and he thought he did a fire job, and everybody else don't think so.
Premo.
Yeah, Premo. Not Pete Rock. My bad.
Pete Rock did do a fire job.
Yeah,
by the way. Shout out to Pete Rock, because that was a Pete Rock.
I mean, but Pete Rock, that's boom bap. Pete Rock is boom bap. We can call it jazz. We can call it.
Let me say. I'll just say this: bad boom bap is dead. All right, I'm not, because I don't want to kick the whole. Because it might sound a little crazier than what I'm saying, but
Griselda.
I think boom bap without some dope samples,
right,
is dead. And I think we had a conversation. I think the budgets, and I could be wrong. I don't know how the publishing game works, and Leroy, you may know more than that. I think producers can't pull these loops and these samples like they used to. You know what I'm saying? Because the budgets got cut. So that's why
it's about to die anyway.
That's why that's not why you're not hearing the fullness of the records. That's why you're hearing the sparse samples. Right. They can't cut and loop and chop like they used to.
Right.
Technology killed a lot of different things. I keep saying it. People
So it only got a year anyway.
And that's why you can feel that with the Nas and Premo album. Like, it feels like there's empty spots in there. Like they had to either take the sample out or something didn't get clear.
Right. And we were talking about this. You and I, Super, were talking about this the other day. If you go back and listen to Prime, where the Prime come out, what year that came out? 2014.
Right.
And you hear the fullness of the beats, and then Prime 2 came out 4 years later. The beats, they had a couple hit bangers on there, but the beats sound a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So I can't think from 2014 to 2018 what happened. You know, see, did something happen at the publishing houses? Did something happen with some deals with the labels? What happened between that time? Even Kanye beats sound different now because he can't chop that soul up like he used to.
You know what?
Dre. You know what I'm saying?
I think that Premo thought that he was kind of doing something. Like, I think he thought that he was doing what these dudes is doing. A lot of these guys they being real lazy with the boom bap. They like all them beats that they drop with Griselda don't be fire. That boom bap shit is holding back Griselda too. They need to kind of step their game up, and that's why I like the new Conway album a little bit more. It's a little bit more musical for him. It brings the best out of his rapping skills and shit. Like right now, if it's not going to be a fire beat and it's not going to have a dope ass sample, boom bap needs to just like we need to damn near just if we're going to make it be old school and let that just be the sound of the 90s, then let it be the sound of the 90s. But these rappers got to kind of move past that shit. New York got to kind of move past boom bap to if they're ever going to gain any of their shit back and they spot back, they got to change their sound. And they going to
understand. But once you change it, it's not hip hop. It's boom not. That ain't rap. It ain't rap. Rap is rap. You know what I mean? Like if I go out dressed like, if I go in a club dressed like this, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna be the fly dude in the club because they're gonna be like, bro, came in here with a sweater and a camo hat. What's going on? But that's my boom bap. You feel me? That's what makes me comfortable. So I knew I wasn't gonna be the flyest when I came in here, but that's just what makes me comfortable, and that's what boom bap is. Like, it's not trying to be the hottest no more. It's just being who it is. Once you start trying to be cool, you're going to get further and further away from hip hop. And I'm not knocking people trying to be musical because this is music. It's the music business and it is music. And we do like musical stuff. I'm not going to act like I don't like it, like I know other people don't like it. As Black people, we like musical stuff. I'm very aware, trust me. But the further we get into that musical bag, we're going to start stepping away from hip hop. I'm just telling you, because we're going to start stepping in the R&B.
And if you're going to make something that's just not that dope, and it ain't something that's just not unless we're going to tell you. I think that's just really is what, like right now at this time, it's 2025. People want to be a little bit more impressed. Like they don't want
to. Yeah, but I think people don't know what to not buy.
Like for this, like you don't want to reminisce. These are some of the worst praying beats that he's made. You know what I'm saying? Like to be honest with you, like period. Like these some of the
when J. Cole was hot, people was telling me J. Cole's like the hottest dude. I said I'm not listening to that. It was like 10 years I didn't even hear J. Cole because I know what's not aimed at me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I know J. Cole is not talking to me. You know, so I didn't even listen. And they was like, bro, you're tripping. J. Cole is the hottest. They're like, he's the hottest, the most dopest, the most lyrical. I listened to a little bit. I said, it's not me. I didn't even buy his albums. I like 10 years went by.
Crazy. Let's segue to something else. You got one of the people that I've said on the show several times, I think, who is the best of the West, the best in LA. His name is The Game. He just dropped a new mixtape with DJ Drama. Every movie needs a trailer. You look at the cover, it reminds me of those throwback New Line Cinema movies. I thought about the guy that had that trailer voice back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He was like, y'all know the movies back in this. There comes the time. You know what I'm saying? I watched this Christmas trailer popped up on my TV the other day. They used that dude for that trailer. I was like, that's crazy because he used to do like the action movie joints, right? But he's like, this Christmas, join the family. They had it was cool seeing his voice in a movie like that. I gotta go watch that for the holidays. Shout out, happy holidays, everybody, and everybody getting their Christmas shopping on and celebrating the holidays with their friends or families. But again, he says he's the best in the West. Leroy, you listen to the album. What do you think about this album? With DJ Drama, I thought it was cool. Couple great records. There's one record I want to talk about. I'll talk about at the end. I don't know if y'all peeped it. It could be a diss. It could be paying homage. Game he likes to do things with his voice sometimes, but I think he's making a point on this record. I'm not going to reveal.
The Kendrick joint?
Why you take my thunder? But go ahead.
Oh,
Go
my
ahead, Leroy.
bad, my bad.
Go ahead, Leroy. Go ahead. Go ahead, Leroy. Go ahead. Like, I was trying to build suspense. I was trying to build suspense. But okay, don't worry.
I know what you meant, though. I know what you meant. And like, I think that, his name is the game because he can imitate everybody in the game. That's why his name is the game. I don't know if people know that. So I think he doing what he has, and that's called personification. And he does that well. Like, he did sound like Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? He did Kendrick's style, like.
Well, give your album review. Give your album review.
Okay.
What did you think of the album?
Just real quick. Okay.
And give your album review.
So the first song, I think he gave Kendrick props, right? Because in the first song he said, like, standing next to Dot, it's like I'm standing next to Pac. Now, whether you believe that or not, it's still something good to say about somebody, right? So I think he's giving them props, and I don't think people caught that. He's doing the name drops, but every rapper has a crutch that they stand on. But the way he name drops, though, he's like, this is, this is why Malcolm X didn't meet Marcus Garvey. Now, to make that type of rhyme, your brain has to work on a certain level, man, or else it just won't make sense. First of all, Marcus Garvey was a grown-ass man when Malcolm X was a little kid. So they're not supposed to meet, right? But just the fact that your brain even put that together is deep. Chrome Hearts, he deals with trauma. He's like, my daddy dug a hole, threw my mama in it. My mom came back with the gun, tried to shoot my dad. Like, every house in Compton got trauma in it. This Gangsta Grills, I got drama in it. But that vulnerability, like I said, like, when you're dealing with the hood, it's a lot of trauma there, and I appreciate that. Stephanie Mills on the Good Enough. Her voice, man, is just like, it's just another level. It's church, man. We going to church. Quarter Zips and Matcha, that's the thing now. But even the psychology behind that, if I dress a certain way, maybe people will respect me. If you subscribe to that, hey, you know what I mean? The personification with Kendrick was dope. Scheme, he kind of he went over the New York beat, so that reminds me of Corrupt. Corrupt's a very West Coast guy with East Coast sensibilities. And when he's doing that, he's talking about Corrupt, it just Game and Corrupt along them same lines. The Blood Tears with Mozzie, that was dope. The migration of the Bloods, right? The Bloods skipped the Bay Area because they couldn't find a stronghold here outside of prison. But it's like the Bloods migrated through several places around the country. That's a thing. The last song, Living, with Haley Williams vocal sample, I like that. It's a little pop, but I do like pop sometimes. You mix some pop with some hood stuff, I may go for it.
Not you, Leroy. Not you, Leroy. You don't
I
like
might go for it. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes
Leroy.
I like a little pop.
I didn't know that. I'm surprised. I'm surprised to hear that, bro.
Leroy like
keep
to
it a
dance.
buck.
God, Leroy love to dance.
Leroy like Drake.
I'm telling you, I'm
Leroy
not
like
gonna lie.
Drake.
I mean, I don't dance like boogie, but I like to hit a little two step. You should have seen.
You like them. You like
bad
them
broads in the club, bro.
Yeah, you be doing the Tootsie Slide to that Drake record, don't you? I know you. I know.
It was some bad girls in there, and this is a hip hop thing. So also the Candace Owens song, right? Whatever you feel about that, I just encourage people to fact check everything. Never believe something you just hear. And that's what I took away from it. Like, why do people believe what they hear? We used to didn't do that. We used to fact check everybody and everything. We never just believe stuff. So I think people need to go back to that. Like, fact check people. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Fact check people. The song's about believing what you hear. Like, I just believe what I hear. Like, stop just believing everything you hear. It must be true. Like, don't do that. You gotta fact check that. Because you'll be surprised how many people just bullshit and lying to you. They just lying for ratings. They're not teaching you telling you real shit. You know what I mean? So
hey,
that's all I liked it. I liked the record.
Hey, that was a good breakdown, Leroy. I'm gonna go to Super real quick. Before I do that, I would be remiss. I forgot at the top of the show to make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Check us out on YouTube, on X, on Twitter. We are the Weekend Rhyme. We'll be here each and every weekend, giving you the updated news, artist interviews, breakdowns of lyrics, breakdown of albums. We'll talk some movies. We'll talk a little bit of sports. I got to get on Super about this Josh Allen thing. I know he's seeing that boy go to work. You know, I know you see the MVP go to work. We'll talk about some movies. We're going to talk about some books. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. We're going to keep it all hip-hop, though, the weekend rhyme. And give us a shout-out. What's going on in your city during the weekend? What's going on in Milwaukee? What's going on in Chicago? What's going on in Houston, Miami, LA, Oakland? We want to know what's going on with the hip-hop community each and every weekend. We might pop up and show some love, but hit like and subscribe. Do that. Follow us on X, Twitter, TikTok. We on what else we on? It's so many. I'm old, man. I'm forgetting all these social media. Rumble. We on all these different things
so
now.
One thing at a time.
But find us, man. But I like the Game album. I've always thought Game's catalog has been very underrated. Game has been in this game for a very long time. He spanned eras. You got to think about how important Game is. Game came out during the G Unit time, right? We talking about over 20 years ago. Really, he brought with a documentary, he brought the West Coast back. I mean, you had Exhibit, you had Raz Kaja, the Alcoholics, you had J.O. Felony, you had a whole bunch of different rappers. So as far as the big rap superstar from the West, you had Too Short always holding it down as a veteran at E40. I ain't talking about the young gun that brought the West back before Kendrick, before, what was it, John? John Connor, and John Connor really never popped off like that. But before all
that's
these
Detroit,
guys,
though. He's from Detroit.
Yeah, I thought John Connor was from LA. He ain't from Detroit.
I could see that because he was with Dr. Dre all the time, but he's from Detroit.
With Aftermath crew. But
you
I
might
could
be thinking
wrong.
of Bishop Lamont.
Bishop Lamont. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Yeah. Bishop Lamont. Right. But Game was the guy. He was the doctor's advocate. He was the documentary. I mean, he was a superstar. He brought the West Coast back, and to still be here and have the catalog that he has, like Born to Rap, the Red Tape, the Doctor's Advocate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Game got hits, Game got rhymes. Game has done introspective records. He's done the beef records. I mean, the whole Meek Mill situation. He's done the pop records. He's done the gangster records. I mean, we gotta start putting respect on Game's name. So I like this album. I liked him hooking up with DJ Drama. It did sound like a movie to me. I like the record. Quarter Zips and Matcha. Good Enough was dope. Clown emojis, and I appreciate Game because he's like not politically correct. He says the things that most brothers our age be thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like the NBA players acting like it's a fashion model walking into the game. I mean, those are things that we say regularly in our private conversations. So I appreciate that. I don't think he has a filter because he's independent. He ain't playing the game. And I thought Left Out was interesting because Game has an ability to take people's voices. He did that with Dr. Dre. He did that with Nas. He did that with Eminem on the Black Slim Shady. Now he's doing it with Kendrick. And I don't know if it's giving Kendrick props or is he showing how versatile he can be, how easy. I don't know how to take the record. I don't know if it's like, if I was Kendrick, how would I feel about this record? Do I feel like I'm getting paid, I'm getting props, or I feel like I'm getting dissed? Because he did say, and I'll just let him speak for himself. And then I want you to follow up on this. He did say this in the following interview with on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp a couple of days ago. I'm gonna go ahead and play it for you guys. Where is that?
The best rap on the West Coast today.
Game.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, it ain't. That's it.
Ain't nobody getting at you?
Can't nobody out-rap me, man. And anybody that knows will know. Because people can't, even if you are, like, no one can do what I can do. Like, no one has my skill set. Because not only do I have the ability to wrap circles around people, I'm also with all the bullshit, too, if it came down to that. So it's like, I'm the best rapper in this town.
Damn, Game. I mean, the OG, man, there's some OGs, some heavyweights. I mean, Cube, Snoop.
I love Cube, but Cube can't out-rap me. I love Cube. And by the way, the reason that Cube can't out-rap me is because I used Cube's legacy to help me sharpen. Right. I used Snoop's legacy to help me sharpen myself. I used Dr. Dre, NWA. So it's like, those guys came before me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Kobe, right? You know Kobe watched Mike growing up.
For sure,
right?
Absolutely.
But
you see the way he walked? You see the way he chew that gum?
Okay.
He got the wristband on his elbow?
Now, Mike, in Kobe's prime, Mike couldn't hold Kobe.
No.
but that's because he came before him and he done with it.
Right.
I'm not saying if I was in 1992 with Cube might be able to,
Yeah.
go crazy,
Right.
But right now, like, nah, it's not a rapper on the West that's better than me.
You still the best rapper from Compton?
I'm definitely the best rapper from Compton.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And I agree. Super, I'm gonna turn it over to you, but I'm gonna say this before I hand you the mic. I think it's without a doubt. I mean, I gave you the rundown, his discography, his ability, his versatility as a rapper, his longevity, what he meant to the West Coast, the different type of records that Game can make from a lyrical perspective. He can do the battles records. He can do the songs for the ladies. He can do the club records. He can do the gangster records.
Hold on.
I think he's the best in the West. I think he's the best in LA. I think he's the best in Compton. It is what it is. Leroy,
Before you go,
Super.
I'm just gonna run down some names, and I'm gonna be 60 seconds, if that. Documentary, Doctor's Advocate, Doctor's Advocate, Lax, Red, Jesus Piece, 1992, Documentary 2, Born to Rap, Jesus Piece. If I didn't say Jesus Piece, that's a 9-piece right there. What are we talking about?
Hey, I agree with everything both of y'all just said. I mean, I think that from a technical standpoint, the Game can rap like. I mean, people always like to say Lupe Fiasco. The Game can rap just as good from a technical level as Lupe Fiasco or Eminem or anybody on this technical shit. Jay-Z, Nas, if you really want to say so. From a technical standpoint, he could rap just as good or better than anybody out there. So, I mean, as far as like the West Coast, yeah, I mean, I think the Game, like, look, his catalog stands alone. It is what it is. I think that his lyrically, and that's what was so impressive about him when he first came out. From a lyrical standpoint, it really wasn't too many guys from the West Coast spitting like that when he came out. West Coast was a little bit more swaggy, a little bit more cool. You had E40, you had Too Short, you had guys that was rapping Ice Cube, but they wasn't like spitting like from a lyrical, technical, I guess if you want to say East Coast standpoint, you know what I mean? So yes, I mean, yeah, of course I think Game is the best rapper out of the West Coast. I think, period. I mean, love Kendrick, no diss to Kendrick, but Kendrick is like more gimmicky. He uses his voice a little bit more. He uses more theatrics and more sounds and more, he's more it's different.
And that's why I thought the Left Out record was so interesting. I don't know if he's doing it as a homage, or is he slow play? He's low key dissing. Like, you say this guy is the best. Let me do his style real quick and make a record like this. I think is he trolling a little bit? I thought it was like a little troll piece to say, yo, I can do this shit and see it, and I can do it effectively. You know what I mean?
I mean, troll. I'm not interested in the Game and Kendrick beef. So I hope it's not a diss. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's a little taunt. Maybe Game is like one of the biggest what ifs in hip hop history. It's like, what if Game knew how to shut the fuck up for real? It's really like if Game knew how to shut up, keep his mouth quiet, and not.
Then
like,
we wouldn't have the Meek Mill records though. We wouldn't have those records.
I think that Game run his mouth so much that people don't respect him. You know what I mean? Like sometimes just being quiet will go a long way for Game. Game done talked his way out of his respect. You know what I'm saying? He done so much shit and he done said so much stuff that people don't really respect him and take him seriously. Like, if Game knew how to shut up, that's the biggest what if in history, to be honest with you. I think he would get the respect he deserved if he knew how to just shut up sometimes.
I think people respect him. I think they're afraid of him, and fear makes people act funny. I think people are afraid of Game. You know what I mean? And just in a bit, and also too though, people always say they want the streets this, they want street that. Well, if you want a street person, and that person comes to the door, it's gonna get very uncomfortable. Just realistically, you know what I mean? But you say that you want that because somebody was having a conversation about 50 Cent maybe 2 weeks ago. So you have 50 Cent, you have the Game, and pick whoever else you want, right? But if you want the streets, okay, so when the street shows up, everyone's gonna be uncomfortable because that's the streets. You know what I mean? If that's what you want, because so Game's gonna make people uncomfortable. I don't think he's dissing Kendrick because we have to keep in mind they know each other for real. like before rap. They're from the same neighborhood. So he, you know, just like you play with your little homie, or like you poking fun at him, you know, it's not like that. I love dude. That's why I'm messing with him.
There's a difference between being the best rapper and being the better song maker. I think Kendrick is a better song maker than Game. Game has.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
I mean, I can see that.
Song maker than
Wait a
Big
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
can see
minute.
that.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me pull out my little notes.
I mean,
real quick.
conceptual albums.
I mean, that's all cool and all, but let's be for real. I want. Hey, let's talk, Super. Let's talk, and let's run this theory that the Game. Okay, that Kendrick got better songs in the Game. I was gonna throw some songs out here. Y'all tell me what Kendrick got in the tuck like this. Okay, let's just say "Hated to Love It."
So,
yeah,
but we having a versus right now. Is that what
I'm just talking. I'm just saying wouldn't get far with Kanye.
I mean, but we're from a different era.
Listen,
Red Nation with Wayne. I'm just saying.
Who's better, Drake or Game?
Let's ride. 100. Switch lanes.
But we're from an era where you don't do no harmonies and you don't do no singing and you keep it strictly gangster. That's the era we're from.
Celebration.
Kendrick's era is not that era.
I'm not. There's no. It ain't even no need to even have to do that. Like I said, me as a personally, yes, I think that I like Game's catalog more than Kendrick. He got more for me than Kendrick does. So yes, I like Kendrick more. So it's not even really an argument about that. But being fair to Kendrick, I do think that Kendrick's songs stand out a little bit more. Drake, when is the last time anybody was even bumping some Game really like that?
I was bumping Born to Rap with Carmen Electra, Gucci Flip Flops.
But Game is like Premo though. It's just simplicity. I mean, it's dope.
Right. It's
simplicity.
Yeah, it's simple. It's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Jada Kiss.
It's nothing real deep about it. It's just great rapping. You know what I mean? It's just great rapping.
But sometimes that's all it needs to be though. That's the way I look at it. It don't need to be all this. It don't need to be all this theatrical stuff. So sometimes it just gotta be beats and rhymes, man. That's just it.
No, I mean it's 2025.
No. I agree with you though, but you know, some things need to be done. Like the things that Kendrick do, it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? It might not always be executed to my liking and my taste, but it's very necessary. You know
but does it make it better? Because someone's more theatrical than somebody can just rap in it with beats. Does it make it better?
One more thing before you go. Oh, go ahead, Super. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, like, listen, no matter how I really feel about the song Luther, it's a good song. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good song because of Luther.
Song, bro.
Look at it like this, Ron. If you're
songs like that though, is what I'm saying. Like he gonna have a dope ass verse, but he ain't making them type of songs.
If you're trying to just make a good song, right, and you have 2 sessions that you could go to, and you're trying to get on the soundtrack of a movie, right? So the movie, they just want a good song. You have 2 artists you could work with, Jadakiss or Wiz Khalifa. Who's gonna make the better song?
What type of movie we talking about?
Okay, but I'm saying.
You talking about like a stoner comedy, or you talking about?
But listen,
going with Wiz Khalifa.
Okay, I got you. Wiz Khalifa is very good at making hooks. Let's just keep that in mind. So when you have to make a better song, who are you gonna pick? Jadakiss or Wiz Khalifa? I would pick Wiz Khalifa if I had to, because I need a good hook.
I'm not picking him if it's the soundtrack for the new for the new remake of New Jack City. No,
I was just about to say that, Super New Jack City too.
Nah. This the movie's a love story. The movie, because most films are gonna have some fluff, right? Because they want to sell. It's like a Disney movie or something. You're going to pick the guy that does good hooks, man.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Like, you know, and I don't want to contradict myself because, and I hate to take it back to sports. I wasn't really a big fan of Tim Duncan's game. You know, I was more of a Kevin Garnett guy, but Tim Duncan had the basic fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? It was just Karl Malone had fundamentals. He had like a little jump shot. You know what I'm saying? But Karl Malone was fine with it. But I liked Allen Iverson too. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes you can have
Iverson a different animal.
different directions. KG was a little bit different. If you look at Kevin Garnett, you look at Tim Duncan, they're two different players. And I think that's how you can look at hip hop. Game is the Game could do it all though. I just don't think Game has the opportunity. I think what we're seeing is that there's an industry behind one artist that's making us think that he is capable of doing these big records. They're not clearing those samples for the other artists, so he's not having the opportunity to do these records. And it just is what it is. If you look at this new Every Movie Needs a Trailer album, and I came from outer space, I listened to that album, and I listened to GNX. It's clear to me that one person is rapping better than another person.
Kendrick is something special, man.
It's just clear to me who's rapping better.
Kendrick,
man. I don't know if it's the list. I don't know if it's the podcast. I don't know if it's the labels.
He's not
why is it hard for us to say that one person? And if you didn't know, if just like Rap Idol, they have like American Idol, and they got rappers, and they just play the album. You ain't know none of them. It was clear who got the better record.
Wasn't you just telling me something about what makes the chicks dance or what makes the girls get hyped? If you have to pick between Game and Drake, and you're going to the club with a bunch of girls, who are you picking? You're gonna pick Drake, bro.
Yeah, I mean
because you need the guy that makes good hooks.
First of all, Leroy, I'm happily married, so I wouldn't be going to the club with a whole bunch of girls.
You know what I mean?
Okay? But if my folk was going to, I would recommend that they listen to Drake. But
bring Wifey out too. See,
I don't think that it's a necessary comparison. Like this, it's not a necessary comparison to compare Game and Kendrick.
Well, it was natural because he brought it up, and he was like, I think he made a point in an interview when I think Shannon was trying to get him.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why the comparison came up. And I think the comparison also came up because he did that Left Out record on his mixtape, and he did that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I think he did that.
Yeah, of course.
So and I have to agree with him. I think I 100% back up Game's point. I do think he's the best in the West. I think he makes better. I think on all categories. I disagree with Super. I think from a songwriting perspective, from a rapper perspective.
I mean, but when you think about it, though, what do Game really do? He rap about the same shit. No,
gangster shit.
Right. Like, so I mean, that's why I say songwriting, because Kendrick will change up what he rap about. You know what I mean? Game really just rap about what he rap about. You know what's coming from Game for real. Like, he's not really telling for one, he's not really making too many songs for the ladies or nothing like that. He's not as versatile as Kendrick. You know what I mean? He gonna tell LA blood stories, talk about gangster shit. That's just what he do.
That's it. And I'm not even an expert on Kendrick.
For me, I love that. That's my type of music. That's my style. So I get it. I get what Ron is saying, but no, man, artistically and versatility and all that, Kendrick got him on all that.
I'm not the expert on Kendrick, and I'll admit that. You know what I mean? But to see somebody come out and every album is a big deal, that is hard to do. And we could say it's the machine, right? But in the street, I'm talking about with the youth, they're like, no, bro, Kendrick is that dude. Like, they're and they've been saying that. They said that with Section 80. Section 80 represent the Section 8 kids from the Reagan era. That's deep, bro. That's deep. That's some gangster shit. And then you got Good Kid, Mad City. Then you got To Pimp a Butterfly. Then whatever, Damn or whatever. I mean, for a person to be always connecting, a label can't do that for you that much, bro.
And we starting off.
But the youth really fuck with him for real. They're not playing.
We're starting off a new pod, and we're gonna be on Spotify and all these platforms. I want to refrain from saying the things I said before, not because I'm controlling, I'm censoring myself.
I'm not supposed to understand Kendrick.
But I'm gonna say, okay, I agree to disagree. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we from the street era, like we from the gang era. That's not Kendrick is the good kid. He's not the gang. He's not gang.
Give that boy his props and let it go on. I don't think he's the greatest. He ain't the greatest for me and my taste and my liking. You know what I mean? But I can't, like, right now, even speaking bad against him. I think that's the difference. I'm not speaking bad on it. I'm not speaking bad at all.
I'm not. I promise you, I'm not.
Just
I'm
saying,
just,
Bro,
like the album been still running. It's still running, man.
bro, when Kendrick first came out, I
What's
said
the
Kendrick
last
is
album
cool.
that even done this? To be honest with you, if you really think of
Nothing. There's
like,
no
what's the last
rap album that
like,
ever did this.
what's the last album that's even like kind of even that stuck around like for even like a minute, like other than
Get
this,
Rich or Die Trying or
you know what I
something?
mean? Like this is the last album I think that's been like hot for a year in a long ass time. Usually,
Bro,
here and gone. You know what I mean? Kendrick made something that stuck around. He made something that stuck to people's ribs. It is what it is, Ron, man. It is what it is.
you know what it is with Kendrick. Really, I think Kendrick reminds people of themselves. I think I'm talking
you don't
about just.
remind me. You don't
I'm just
remind
the
me of
youth.
me.
I think they look at Kendrick and see. Okay, but look, when Kendrick first came out, that bro said, "Bro is just as dope as Tupac," and I heard that from masses of people, bro, from youth. And to me, that of course sounded crazy, right? I'm like, hold on. The people that were saying that were so passionate about saying it, and then I heard it over and over and over. It made me think maybe I'm missing something because they was telling me, look, bro, you don't understand. Now they weren't saying he's exactly like Pac. That's not what they were saying. But they were saying the type of global impact that Pac had, they were saying Kendrick will one day have a global impact as big. And they were saying this in 2012. And I heard it from like 50 different people, bro.
See,
that's crazy.
See, Super, this is what drives me crazy about
I
these
don't
arguments.
like that. I don't like comparing him to greats. I want Kendrick to.
I didn't understand either.
Let this boy have his lane and his time. Like the comparisons is just crazy. Like we don't.
But now I see it in real life.
Be doing this.
You don't see it in real life, Leroy.
He's charging more money to perform than Michael Jackson when he was living.
That ain't got nothing to do with Pop. And we can't keep comparing people.
He's charging 100 times more than what Pac would charge.
Okay, what that have to do with Pac? And
he's reaching 100 times more people because he's from the internet era.
Because he's alive.
Yeah, and he's alive. but being dead as an icon has proven to be very lucrative.
I think
being dead as an icon
we really do gotta stop like really comparing people that's so drastically
different.
You know, I'm just saying, take our opinion. It's like if they so and just look at the numbers.
Not even a good comparison.
Look at the numbers.
Like we gotta be respectful to the catalogs, and I think we should. If we're gonna do, I think Super, you and I talked about this. Leroy, you and I talked about this before too. If we want to compare an OG artist to Kendrick, let's do Common or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Why? No, Kendrick is a street dude. Even though he's not rapping about that, he's from Compton, California.
All right. Next topic here.
His first album is Section 80.
Next topic, Leroy. You want to talk?
Man.
You want? I think this next topic is for.
That's a street dude.
So you gave us you're segueing us into the next topic. You know, 21 Savage just released an album called "What Happened to the Streets." It just dropped. Super, I want you to talk about it, but I have an overarching question I want to get into. Leroy, you and I touched on this a couple of days ago. You know, what does the question really mean? You know, what happened to the streets? Can the streets be saved? And then we're going to segue into another street artist that just came home, just released first day out, Memphis' own, Pooh Shiesty. We're going to talk about the streets. Can the streets be saved? What does saving the streets mean? Leroy, you teed us up for this, so we're going to go. So 21 Savage, what do you think, Super? What's your thoughts on what happened to the streets by 21?
I thought the album was pretty dope, to be honest with you. You know, like especially the back half of the album. Like I'm not too much of a fan of the first 5 songs. Like but then after, you know, pretty much after the Drake song on there, it really kicked up for me. The Drake song, for one, I'm just gonna stand out. I'm gonna say it off top. It's the worst song on the album. It's on the whole album.
No,
is the worst song on the album. Like that.
No.
It almost seemed like 21 Savage had to beg Drake to rap on there or something like that. Like he didn't sound inspired at all. It's like the worst beat on there. It's the worst song on the album. So shout out to 21 for not needing Drake and not needing the Drake feature, because that feature is whack. They could have kept that off the album. But after that, I would say the song with Dog Shit with Lotto. I mean, not Lotto, with Glorilla. That song is fire. I think the album picks up from there. And from there on, I think it get real dope for me. I mean, I think 21 showed a little bit of maturity. He unapologetically street, and he's standing on it. You know what I mean? He's saying like, nigga, I'm a street nigga. This is what it is. Like, what you mean? Like, these internet nerds is trying to take over our culture, and hip hop need the streets. Hip hop is the streets is the last line of defense before hip hop is taken over totally by the corporate machine and nerds. To be honest with you, not like could they execute how they do in the streets, and can the streets be represented better? Yes. Could they stop glorifying a lot of bullshit? Yes. And I think that's what kind of 21 was kind of getting across in this album. Really, I think he did a dope job. I mean, Code of Honor with G Herbo, I love that song. The beat soulful, like you can't do nothing but feel them when they talking that and they telling them stories on that shit. And G Herbo got a line on there where he was like, I had to move my mama out to the sticks because these niggas wicked. Like some of them songs and some of that shit that they say on there, you can tell that they getting wiser with they streetness. You know what I mean? And they actually they becoming OGs themselves. They used to be young, they reflecting on life, and they passing on information to the kids, and they tell them like, man, y'all wilding out. It's another song on here, Gang Over Everything, where 21 Savage is talking about how he was having a conversation with a little youngin saying like, man, throwing your life away and you out here tricking yourself off in the streets, that ain't shit. That ain't being a soldier. Like, you being out here wild and reckless, that ain't street. You know what I mean? Like, gangsters move in silence. And basically what he with this album, I think that 21 Savage is kind of speaking like, man, like we got to get back to having a little bit of morals in the streets. Like, the streets is dead because you niggas is abusing the streets. A lot of people was out here really wilding out and just doing shit just for the sake of doing stuff, and that ain't really gangster. That ain't street. And I like the way that that's the theme of this album, like, for real. So shout out to 21, man, for really stepping on there. Big Stepper is dope. Another great beat. 21 rapping. His lyrics on there, he really stepped up some of his lyrical content on that back half of the album. Like, once you can hear it too. Once you hear like the sound of the album kind of go soulful, his lyrical content step up, and he telling more stories, and he being more wiser, and he being more mindful of him getting older and being an adult. And I really like that. I respected that from 21. I think that he showed a little bit of growth. But you got to get through the first 4 or 5 or 6 songs. Like, after the Drake song is dope, but if you the first couple songs, you might cut it off if you don't get to that mid point of the album. But after that, I think it's really dope, man. Atlanta Tears, one of the best Lil Baby features and verses I heard from him in a while. I think that was pretty dope. And that's one of the lines on there from 21 where he's talking about internet nerds trying to tell us how the streets feel. I wish he would have had Benny the Butcher as a feature on this album. That would have been dope, because Benny kind of popped this conversation off about the streets being dead and these nerds taking over the streets, and they trying to tell us what's cool and what's not cool. And we got the wrong people representing the streets is what's wrong with the streets.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying, but y'all ain't listening to me. But that's another topic.
Right. But overall, I think the album was dope. I like the song Step Brothers with little young Nudie, or whatever his name is.
Young Nudie? Yeah.
You got the DMX Stop Being Greedy sample in there. I thought that song was pretty cool on the beginning. The intro was pretty dope.
The Lotto song was okay. I mean, that's for the girls.
That one. That's a skip for me. I'm not a fan of that one.
I
like the Glow one though. Like, I like the Glow one for sure.
The Glow one was tight. The Drake record, was surprising to me. I wasn't, too keen on it, but I do think that out of everybody that Drake works with, him and 21 do have good chemistry. I think the album they made was dope. I think, him and Future have the best chemistry, Drake. But I mean, I would like to see more 21 Savage records with Drake. But Leroy, so the overarching question, we talked about it,
Yeah.
What happened to the streets?
I watched the interview.
What do you think about the streets?
With 21 Savage and Big Hank, or whatever, the Big Hank. I don't know how old 21 Savage is, but I take it he's around 30 or something, right? So I only have one idea of the street, and that's it. I only think the street can go one way. Now, I'm going to break it down into 3, but I really only think it's only one way. In the streets, you either going to do a lot of decades in prison, or you going to take somebody's hat, or you going to get money in the dope game. Them is the only three routes. So to me, it's always been kind of confusing to hear the streets and hip hop. Now, I understand what everybody means because I know they come from a real place. I know that they have their own experiences. I know where hip hop is from. But at the core, it's always been a little confusing to me in the sense that where if you're really from that, I don't understand why you'd want to go there or stay there, or like I don't understand. I'm trying to get the furthest away from that. You know,
Right.
being personally, because it only goes one way. I don't know no other way. The street is about combat. So if either you're efficient in combat in all levels, from weapons, hand to hand, or whatever, it's combat. If you're not about combat, then I don't know what street we're talking about.
I,
And
I,
that's me. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know about honor in the street. Now, granted, it's a nice idea, and I respect the idea, but I'm talking about in real life. How many times have you seen honor displayed in the street? Really, though? It's only been a few times. You know what I mean? Most of the times you don't see that. You see dudes, they'll backstab each other, they'll blah, 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 sleep with each other's chicks, shoot each other. It's like, so it's confusing for me. Now, when he says like, where's the honor at? Where's the code? I don't know if there was ever a code. When I was young, the OGs that they were supposed to have a code, it was really kind of like fuzzy. It wasn't like a strong code. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and so in my era, same thing. Like, we'll kill each other over. You know what I mean? Real quick. You know, so it's like, I think that there's the real streets and I think there's the entertainment. Now, if guys just want to entertain and get their money, I can't hate on that, because why would I hate on you getting your money? But I think I'm confused, man, because the streets to me is a very dangerous place.
I
So I
think
don't
that
know why we'd want to go there.
hip hop streets and the real streets are two different things. Like, to be honest with you, I think that when we talk about the streets in hip hop, we kind of like we fantasize it in a way. But
Exactly.
like on the song like the Atlanta Tears, right? We're on here with him and Lil Baby, like 21's verse. He like man, it's real people going through real shit out here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like why people is internet glamorizing the streets, and like really like, you know, celebrities is glamorizing the streets and shit like that. It's real people out here really suffering and really gotta sell dope, or really been going through that, really getting snitched on about some you know, about something. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
the way that hip hop is kind of playing street. You know what I mean? And like there's a big difference between what's really happening in the streets and what the glorification through rap music and, you know, in these videos, everybody just running around with sticks. It's starting to affect and make the real streets the internet fake streets. You know what I'm saying? So like I think that
Exactly.
you know, we people playing a game and they playing gangster really a little bit more than actually having to be gangster, or even understanding what it even take to even make it out the hood, or even, you know, to go through that shit. People playing around. People, they use the hood as a vacation spot now. People want to go visit the ghetto
That's crazy.
for fun and shit. You know what I mean? Like people
The
playing.
the one pushback I have, there's a lot of real dudes on the internet now too. Like some of these dudes on
Oh,
the
yeah, of
internet,
course.
some of the dudes on the internet that came home from jail and all that, they was real dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But
So
the glorification of the streets is where, like, I think that's where hip hop really went wrong. I mean, we always had rappers that would, you know, talk about street stuff, but it was always like at least some realness to it, and that's why
Malice.
I like that 21 kind of, you know, he always been street, but you know, especially with this album, he talk about a lot of the pain and shit that he done been through because of the streets. You know what I mean? Like this shit ain't something to be glorifying and playing, and you don't play streets. You know what I mean? Like this, it's real. You know what I mean? This shit ain't cute. So it's like I like that theme of the album and how like that's what's y'all making it with.
Okay, so I get it. If that's the case, I get it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the album was good though.
I like the I Wish song too. Not my bad, Ryan. Not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
The I Wish song with the R. Kelly, like the R. Kelly I Wish remix, you know what I mean? Like that's another one, like you said, when you listen to that, you can't help but feeling, you know what I mean? Like he kind of, you could tell that 21 is not just, we watch interviews, so he, you know, he's been around now, but dude is very intelligent. Like he not like no dummy at all. He real smart. He understands his rap style. He can do a lot more with his music. And this album, like I said, that back half of the album, it really proved that this dude, like he started to recognize his position. He getting older, and he started saying like, man, I might have to represent myself a little bit better. And as far as teaching me, I'm an OG now. Now I gotta talk to these little young niggas about doing dumb shit when I'm still want to be young and shit. You know what I mean? He's still young and in the middle of that shit too. So shout out to 21, man. I love the album. I do. I like the album a lot.
I mean, I've said in the past, and I know people take this the wrong way because they think I'm like taking a shot at the streets. Sometimes I wish the streets would just leave hip hop alone. And it's not that I'm trying to diss the streets, but I already know what y'all do. I already know what you do. So why not? The people in hip hop, they're civilians. If we're gonna keep it a buck, they're not built for
street that we really got to get in check, because Public Enemy was street. You know what I mean? KRS-One them was street. You know what I mean? It's just like the if we getting rid of the streets, then we really kind of almost like, that's really like the end.
That's true.
That's the end of the revolutionary side of hip hop. Like
but they knew who the enemy was, and they knew it wasn't themselves. They knew it wasn't another black man. They knew that. KRS-One is a street dude, but he knows another black guy is not his real enemy. He knew that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the streets is too hard for the real hip hop crowd. The people in the hip hop crowd, they civilians, bro. A lot of the artists, they civilians. We're just gonna keep it real.
You know, it's a lot of guys like now, like even like G Herbo. I like the way that he expressed his pain through his music. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the way he gonna talk his gangster shit. He gonna say some stuff, but it's gonna have some regret there and there within the songs. He gonna tell you something that like something real within what he's saying.
I can respect that.
So I mean, we stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes down to hip hop in the streets, because we do see how like influential it is to these kids, and like how corny and fake. Like you got fake suburban kids wanting to be gangsters and shit, right? Like going out here, got shiesty masks on, and you know what I mean? Like they wannabes. Hip hop has produced a lot of wannabes.
But some of the wannabes become real though, because they want to be so hard they actually become real.
Right.
And I'm just saying, like, you know, like if we look at the Italian mob, that gangster shit worked against them. It brought their whole organization down. If we keep going, the gangster shit's gonna bring the hip hop to its knees. And I hate to say that, you know, because I love all the streets and all the tough dudes and all that, and the tough females, but it's like it's gonna collapse the culture, because the culture's not built. It's not built for the street. I'm talking about the real guys. The music business is not built for that. They don't even know how to have a conversation with the real street guys, how to be around y'all, how to do business with y'all. It's uncomfortable. They don't know. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Like they don't come from that. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's all about the execution, though. I think once hip hop get themselves together, you know, and like guys like the 21s, guys like the G Herbos, guys like Pooh Shiesty, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's they just have to represent the streets better and tell more of the realistic side. If you're gonna be a street rapper, you're gonna have to be able to talk both ways. You can't just be always glorifying the most ignorance of the ignorance of shit and acting like, you know, you're gonna get away with every crime you hit or every lick that you do, and things just gonna be all peaches and cream. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that you got to give like a guy like Master P for. I always bring this up with Master P, but Master P knew how to talk about the streets from both sides. You know what I mean? It might sound like he was glorifying it at 1 minute, but at the same time, it's some regret there in the song. And I think that they got to have a responsibility of like having teachable moments still in the songs. You can't just.
But that's why I can appreciate Game. a rapper like Game, because Game is gonna give you the street stuff, but then he's also gonna tell you like, bro, I have problems. Like there's problems in my life that's making me act this way, and that's real. Like I can appreciate that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of street, it's a topic that Super wanted to discuss. We want to talk about that Memphis wave. Pooh Shiesty, fresh out, just dropped first day out. And this kind of ties into our whole conversation about the streets. Super, what do you think about Pooh Shiesty, his wave, and what he can bring to the game as far as his return back to the hip hop space?
I mean, I love that track though. No, like right off top, let me just start there. That first day out, or he snapped on there. I mean, I like the way he rapping. He sound energetic. He sound hungry. He sound like he switched up his flow a little bit. Sound like he been really working on his craft while he been locked up, and he sound like he ready to come back out here and try to claim his spot. And it's wide open for him. I think that Pooh Shiesty could come back and represent the streets real well, and he can make a dope album if he come back properly. I mean, you just went through a whole lot. You coming out of prison for so many years. Don't come out like Young Thug and mess this up. You know what I mean? I think it's a real teachable moment there with him. He should be getting older. He started a whole trend. He had, if you notice, he ain't had a Shiesty mask on no more. So it seemed like he leaving that behind. And I really like the song. I'm anticipating what he gonna do next. I really do. I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see how he gonna execute this. And I love that video. I love that track. So shout out to Pooh Shiesty, man. I think that he seemed like he a smart young man too. So if he don't end up something tragic happening to him, I think that he got the skill set to take over the streets. I think a lot of these guys that's just getting out of prison got the skill sets. Look, even Max B. Shout out to Max B. I think Max B. I think that he's more mature. I think he got a way to come out and use his album and use his rhymes as teachable moments. He can still talk that street shit. You don't have to switch it up so much, but you got to kind of be able to execute and talk about it properly and not look stupid out here. It'd be dumb if Pooh Shiesty come out here and risk his freedom and he come out here straight back to the streets and he just with all the shit and he didn't learn nothing and he's still talking that talk on that record. Yes, he's still talking that talk.
And I was surprised. I mean, damn, he's still talking that. He's talking that real talk.
Still talking that talk. Like he's still talking that talk, but I still think that he should be a little bit smarter with his movements and, like I said, express what he's been through his music. You gotta feel him though. He came out. He feel like a kingpin. I love that swag that he feel like. You know what I mean? Like he the boss of his own shit. He said, "I'm my own shooter." He said, "I'm gonna be the boss and the shooter." So I like it. I like that swag that he came out with. I like the way his flow switched up because it have been a lot of Pooh Shiesty biters. So it seemed like he came out and changed up the cadence of his flow a little bit. But yeah, he snapped, man. I love that track. It's one of the ones I got on repeat right now.
Yeah, the visuals were dope too. It was very cinematic. I'm a sucker for the cinematic visuals. But I think what Pooh Shiesty's doing is really also shining a light, man. Memphis got a lot of heat, man. I mean, you had Moneybagg Yo not started it, but he came from the Yo Gotti tree. Then you had Black Youngster. Then you had from Yo Gotti people. Then you had Key Glock. Key Glock had a dope album last year. Glockavelli was dope. Shout out to Key Glock.
Right.
PRE. The boys moving out there. You had Block Boy JB. You got Glorilla. You got Duke Deuce. You got a lot of I ain't really feeling Duke Deuce music like that, but a little dark for me. But shout out to Duke Deuce. But Memphis is
that one point though. When you talk about like making a teachable moment or street shit, that has to make sense with capital. These guys are capitalists. They all about making money. If I want to make money, I'm drilling everything. Ain't gonna be no teachable moment in my music. My music is about pulling up, knocking domes off. That's all I do.
But there's growth in it though, Leroy. Because like that's growth in it. Like what Super said from the 21 Hour when happened to the streets. You can hear from this 21 Savage from No Heart, No Savage, right? You know what I'm saying?
They rich now.
Well, I mean that comes with it. I mean you got kids.
Wait till you get the poor guy off the block. He ain't gonna be trying to do no teachable moments, bro.
I mean, we all grow.
He's gonna be drilling shit.
But I'm saying we all grow and change. You know what I'm saying? We all grow and change. And I think that's the opportunity that music has provided many of us, right? Oh, that's the whole point of it, right? It's to change your situation, come out of that, and maybe see a different perspective. But the reality of it, a lot of us don't get to see that transition. You mean I can be on here for 30 minutes talking about MCs that we lost, you know, even from a Camouflage down in Savannah. You know what I'm saying? To a Soldier Slim.
10,000 Pooh shots. 10,000 Pooh Shiesties
to a Soldier Slim. To even somebody even trying to do right, like Pop Smurfs. Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke wasn't on that. You know, he was talking that talk, you know what I'm saying? But he was in LA happy with it, you know, with his people. You know what I'm saying? He just posted the Addy. And
they been in LA right there.
They took his life, you know. So it's a whole litany of folks that didn't get a chance to grow and mature. But we got to give artists opportunity. And hopefully Pooh Shiesty, and he's still relatively young. I mean, he's not even 30 yet. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, and he's still talking that talk. Hopefully, in his music, he'll say, okay, move like this way. But my main point was that Pooh Shiesty is representing a wave of a city, and I gotta say, they on a run right now. Memphis is on a huge run. Their music might be a little bit more impactful. I hate to say this, I live here, than Atlanta at the moment. I mean, I'll also watch out for Dallas. Zillionaire Doe. Zillionaire is a dope MC from Dallas. I mean, Dallas has got a wave of people. You know, Yellow Breezy has kind of got a situation. Mo 3 had, you know, unfortunately, it was another one of those artists that transitioned out. But Memphis got a lot. Dallas got a lot of MCs that I want to interview on this platform to talk to. But shout out to Memphis. I want to get back to that point. Pooh Shiesty is representing. He's putting a further flag in the map. And Memphis is, for a very long time, has been one of the most important cities in hip hop. And I'm fearful that if we don't tighten up our belt in Atlanta, you know, we might get surpassed by Memphis in a certain time period. But we'll have that
I think Atlanta. I think it's a wrap on Atlanta, not because y'all can't do it, but why would y'all want to do that? Why would y'all want to keep? Why would y'all want to still be in this like that?
Because we've done it for 20-something years.
Y'all don't need this. Like, why y'all want to be in the clubs? I mean,
because you saw what happened
in the trap.
You saw what happened. We got to be responsible with it though, Leroy. Because you saw what happened when New York. When New York lost its grip on hip hop, you saw what happened, right?
They moved on to something else. Like, I'm just saying, we're gonna stay in hip hop as a culture. But I'm saying, you've been running something for 20 years. You want to go for another 10 or 20?
Yeah, like, that's how we play for keeps down here.
All right. Well, hey, man. More power to you.
Because we give it to if we let it go out west, it got kind of weird. It get kind of weird when it go out west, though. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It gets weird. I mean, the West ain't gonna be able to really give you too much because the West is gang culture. Gangs run California.
Wherever it
goes, you're not tapped in with the gangs, it's a wrap.
It ain't.
So we're not gonna get on, bro.
We know that. We know it ain't going back to the East Coast because they won't give up boom bap. So that
they gave it up. They do drill music. New York does drill music.
Well, that's almost gone too. That's not.
They do drill.
It's not long lasting.
Man. The streets of New York is drill music.
I can't even take drill seriously right now. Like, I think that's just a trend.
You know,
it's a trend.
I think drill is Midwest trap.
Yeah, so it's a trend, a fad right now. But either way, boom bap can't save the East Coast, so they won't. Until they move on production wise and try to change up their sound.
You can only do boom bap if you a samurai, if you a Jedi lyrically. If you're not a Jedi, you can't even do boom bap because you got to have the skill set of a Ransom to do that. You know.
Yeah. But shout out to Pooh Shiesty. I want to get in a couple more topics before we get out of here because this episode has really been good. Again, hit like and subscribe. Follow us on X, TikTok, Rumble. What else we on? We on all these. I'm old, man. We ain't on Snapchat. I know we ain't on that. We on all the other ones though. YouTube. Yeah. The Weekend Rhyme is the handle. The Weekend Rhyme. But I want to talk about something that I think is very interesting that's happening. There's been rumblings. Can't confirm the reports right now that Charlemagne's contract will not be renewed. He may be not being preparing on the Breakfast Club. Ebro Laura Styles and Peter Rosenberg just got fired. There were people in the hip hop space celebrating. DJ Academics was kind of laying out what happened with them. Also, Vlad and Rosenberg been going back and forth. And I think it's interesting to see old media kind of dying off. And I predicted this for a long time. I think there's been people who have been trying to be gatekeepers and trying to keep things the same. And guess where they at now? They doing a show just like we doing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's going to work because I think it looks inauthentic because for a long time they kind of shitted on people like us that was using independent media to get our voices out. And they try to control the narrative. And they say they weren't. They say they were the voice of the people, but they were getting their pockets lined up, and they were putting out dominant narratives and feeding the people that were listening to terrestrial radio bull BS. Wasn't really feeding them. They were feeding them McDonald's, as you say, Leroy. So radio's been dead for a while, and I think these old guards.
Yeah, but that's after they gave us the '90s era, though.
But let me finish. I think that radio's been dead. I think this is a further evidence that this is dead. And my whole purpose of this show now, the Weekend Rhyme, as we ramp up, yeah, they're gonna have a little bump because they got names. I want to put their show out of business, and I want our show to be bigger than Ebro, Rosenberg, and Laura Styles. I think they're terrible.
Bro.
They've been terrible on Hot 97 for a very long time. Go check out what Academics has to say. I'm not a big fan of Vlad, but go check out what Vlad had to say. And I think it's corny. But then now they're gonna go back to YouTube after they kind of dumped on it for a long time. Now they want to kind of speak. But what say you about the old media super? And then Leroy, you can go.
I mean, good riddance. They don't do music really no more anyway. The morning shows, they never talk about music really anyway. It's only about gossip and celebrity junk and like who cares? I don't really listen to the Breakfast Club. I don't care about Hot 97. I don't care. Good riddance. Like, you know what I mean? Like that shit is all played out, especially if they're not gonna be putting nothing new out. They're not gonna promote music. They're not gonna put new artists on. They're not gonna like talk about anything related to music. Get off the radio. I'm cool with it. Like,
I mean, my thing is this though. If it's gonna go to some YouTube stuff, I'm not mad at that, and I'm in the space. But let's keep in mind what these guys brought to the table too when they came in the door. And I'm not caping for them because I don't know them like that. I don't know them at all. And I'm not. But let's keep in mind, Ice Cube came through them doors. Tupac came through them doors. Jay-Z, Nas, DMX, Snoop Dogg. All them legends came through them Hot 97 doors.
Yeah, I mean, Hot 97 is still gonna be around. I'm more so. I'm not knocking Hot 97 what it did for our generation when we were coming up. My argument is that the people that were supposedly in power in this hip hop radio scene in New York didn't kind of adapt with the times, and now they're trying to adjust, and it's too late. And they kind of shitted on people that were outside of that scope or the realm of influence. And they peddled ideas.
Understand?
They were peddled ideas. They were getting their pockets lined by people that were to disseminate a message that was probably destructive to our people. And now they got pushed out. And they got X'd
Somebody
out,
gonna have to do this for no money.
And now they back, to a place where they had contempt for. And I think that's kind of whack.
Who's gonna not get money? When is not getting money gonna be cool? That's what needs to happen. When does not getting money become cool? Because as long as getting money is cool, we will always have bullshit forever. The moment getting money is not cool no more, and someone's like, man, I don't need your money. I'm just a real dude. That's when stuff will start changing.
Hey, I'm gonna get a button. I'm gonna get a button.
Until someone steps up and
Leroy,
I don't need your money.
Leroy, I miss doing the show with you. I gotta get a button just for you. I'm gonna get a button. You see the Last Dragon? You see the Last Dragon? I'm gonna get the drop like Leroy. We're showing up and say Leroy. That's gonna be my cue to when I'm like, you take us to another direction. I'm like Leroy.
I'm just saying, as long as people can be bought, it's a wrap. Now these guys, to their credit, they did have late night shows where they brought on like the lyricists though. Late at night, I'm talking about 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm mainly talking about Ebro, how Ebro, when Academics lays it out on his show, Ebro, him and Buckshot had a problem. I think
But
he says
academic's supposed to be a real nigga out here in these streets now.
I
Like
didn't
that's
say
our
that. I didn't
version
say
of
it,
a
but
real nigga.
I didn't say that at all. I'm not vouching for his character. I don't know the brother, but I'm saying
But
if you got
that's today's real
you
nigga.
said
is
fact check the
academic.
information. You say fact check information. If somebody presents information you can fact check, then I gotta accept the information.
Today's version of a real nigga is somebody who sits behind a computer all day. That's a real nigga today.
Hey, get rid of all of them gatekeepers and people that like you said, that's like Leroy, you right in a certain way. If you just really just taking the bag, like I don't like when you've been like a sellout for all this time. Now you get fired. Now you want to act like you talking against the machine. I thought that little shit that Ebro was doing, I thought that was pretty lame. He talking about culture vultures and all that shit. Man, get your ass out of here now. Now you want to speak up and talk about that shit now. But you've been a sellout for all this time, basically. And like you said,
I don't want to make it sound like you can get your money, but you got to get it out the street, do shows, do the thing and go to the consumer. But
I mean, people ain't got no sympathy for him because they feel like they got paid to kill New York radio. That's
but who didn't get paid? We don't have one DJ who didn't take money, except for maybe nobody.
Yeah, but that's why people they don't feel sorry for them. Nobody cares. They like, yeah, y'all ain't doing y'all job. This is not the show that we liked, and this ain't what we wanted from the beginning. Y'all don't do music.
But they're not gonna check the program directors. If the program directors of Hot 97 walk through the door right now and say everybody shut up and kiss the ring,
Ebro was the program director.
They gonna do that.
Leroy, Ebro was the program director. Leroy,
I know, but in that time, like I'm saying, how many icons came through that door? So before we check Ebro, and I'm from the Bay, so people are gonna say, "Oh, Ebro's from the Bay. You're from the Bay. You must be caping." I don't know Ebro like that, and I don't know nobody who knows Ebro like that.
Yeah, I don't know him either. I don't know him either. My observation was that my only observation.
You have Tupac come through the door.
My only observation was that Hot 97, under Ebro's leadership, when they had Rosenberg's, Laura Styles, and Ebro. They said a lot of information, a lot of different things that were really knocking people that you champion. They were talking about, how if you didn't have no wave, then it wasn't coming through the Hot 97 doors. If you were independent, or you were an older artist, they did a lot of things to kind of proliferate music that you probably don't like to push on the number one radio station in New York City. And now that they're leaving, they're crying with hat in hand. Like they were done wrong, like they're the agents of rebellion in hip hop when they were part of the machine. So I ain't got no sympathy.
I wouldn't cry. I would be like, when I was sitting at this table, y'all got Jay-Z, you got Bad Boy, you got Rough Riders, you got Cash Money, you got No Limit, you got Snoop Dogg.
That was before Ebro.
I would run down the list, but
this the same.
That's Hot 97 though.
For that blackball Wu-Tang, man, like you know what I mean. Like they've been gatekeeping for
we know
like, they can go like they if you're not gonna be about music and
ain't no
talk
way,
about
bro.
hip hop really.
Ain't no way.
They can go. They might as well join and be out here on the internet. But
who is gonna say no to money? I need to find that person. That's not gonna happen. Everyone is a slave for $1. I could make anybody flip and bow down because all I have to do is write a check.
You know what would be dope though? If they got on the internet or something and he found a way to get some type of licensing or some shit like that to be able to play music and get back to the music. Get back to and get back to music then.
All these people talking about they would be revolutionary.
Make you a real hip hop show. Those shows is barely even hip hop to me. When you watch that shit is barely hip hop. They're not telling you about nothing new really that dropped.
It's just like the View. That shit is like the View. It's like it's like the View.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna see no real nigga.
MD.
That stage is over. You'll never see another DMX for the rest of your life. You'll never see another Tupac, a Biggie, a Jay, a Nas, a Wu-Tang. That will never happen. Not no more.
Well, that's partly because of them. Because of their gate.
That will never happen. Because this is the era of kissing the ring.
No, I mean, I think you can't. I think the environment that created those people. I mean, I hate to get so deep with it. When maybe I hope music heads.
The crack era.
Music heads don't knock my head off on this. When the last time you seen a Mozart or a Beethoven? Times has changed. You know what I'm saying? You don't see people. Maybe I'm wrong. There's nobody really composing these masterpieces no more, sitting in a room and.
You got that little black dude though. That's I know you've seen him all over Instagram or whatever. The dude that be playing classical music and.
I ain't seen that. He composing his own stuff.
He's pretty dope. Yeah, he composing his own stuff.
Okay, I stand corrected.
A black young Mozart or something right now.
I stand corrected. That brother doing his thing. I stand corrected. What I'm saying is that the internet. I hate to sound like an old man on this platform, but the internet and social media has reprogrammed people's minds. You'll never have an artist that can see things like that, like George Clinton and Prince and Jimi Hendrix and Biggie and Pac and Nas. They lived in a place where they didn't have high-speed internet. They didn't have no phones. They didn't have no social media. They were able to take music and tape it together and write lyrics on a notepad. You don't have that. No, people writing lyrics in their phone and going in the booth and
people not even gonna write lyrics, bro. Them days is gone. They're not writing songs. They're gonna type in, make me a song, and then that's the song. They're not gonna write shit.
That's the sad thing. Maybe we should get AI avatars to do the show.
But look, if I just met Sway, right? Sway and Tech. Sway to me is the real dude in hip hop. Now, someone else today would tell me DJ Academics is. Now, if I'm looking at DJ Academics versus Sway, the comparison don't even make sense.
Now, Leroy,
but I live in a world where they would say Academics is greater than Sway.
Leroy, I want you to talk.
Makes no sense.
I want to tee you up so you can talk about the weekend because I think you had a very important weekend. But I want to push back before you go. I've never, and Super, maybe you've heard it. I've never heard anybody say DJ Academics was the authority in hip hop. I've never heard that.
Yeah, that's a real nigga now.
I never heard. I never heard that.
I don't think that. No, I never heard nobody.
Leroy, I don't think you heard that either, man.
I didn't hear that. I didn't.
Hyperbolic. How could you be a real nigga when you basically like he just a TMZ? He TMZ man. He ain't. But I don't think Academics don't have to be a real nigga.
But that's a real nigga now. Like you don't even have to be a real nigga.
Well, who said? Well, you gotta fuck. No,
the reason why I say that
we gotta put the number out. I got somebody who says
because you have millions of people watching a dork.
Because he report news. All he do is talk about celebrities.
The people at Entertainment Tonight and Inside Edition and TMZ are dorks. Millions of people watch it every day. I'm not gonna knock this.
But some of these guys have been around for 30 years, though.
So what?
But that's work, bro. That's work.
Okay, so it take work to sit in front of a computer. I mean,
this guy's been around for 3 years, getting compared to dudes been around for 30. That ain't.
But they're doing the same type of thing, bro. I'm not gonna knock. I don't watch Entertainment Tonight. I don't watch. Hell, I don't even watch Vlad. I don't watch.
But some of these, like, it's like when people knock the Grammys, right? And I'm not gonna cape for the Grammys either. But Q-Tip is a judge on the Grammys. So when they knock the Grammys, they knocking Q-Tip, Questlove, Ninth Wonder, LL Cool J. These are the people voting behind the scenes of the Grammys.
I need my Leroy button. Please send me if you can you email me to Leroy
I'm just saying, like, sometimes we knock real people. If someone will get up here and knock Funkmaster Flex, they'll be like, Funkmaster Flex is he's a nobody. But if he's a nobody, you have to beat what he did. You have to beat what he did in the game. If you're not greater than him, how you speaking on him? Not us or you. I'm saying in general in the public YouTube space, you'll have someone say Funkmaster Flex ain't shit. But how you not greater than Funkmaster Flex?
Leroy, I want to challenge us, Leroy. I want you to get. I want you to get these people on the show. I want to talk to somebody that says that Academics is hip hop, and I want to debate.
They watching them. Just by watching them, you letting me know you think he's a real nigga by watching them.
Huh?
You letting me know that you think he's a real nigga by devoting your time to watching him.
I don't know about that, but Super.
I don't know what he's trying to say. Like I'm just saying, like people watch Academics because he report on hip hop celebrity news. I don't see like he ain't teaching nobody shit. He be watching. You watch him, watch the news, and he talks shit about.
I don't think nobody's. I don't think nobody's coming out of watching a live stream of Academics with some profound knowledge, saying, "Oh,
right. Like it's like
I'm gonna go teach." I don't think
Right.
that's what he does.
But make no mistake, the game is about who you brought in the door with you. If where is your Wu-Tang? Where is your Nas, Jay-Z, Ice Cube?
But
Where
that's
is
not what
your
he do,
version of
though.
it?
That's not what he do.
So you didn't bring nobody?
That's not what he do.
Okay, so you're not even in a conversation of hip hop because you only brought yourself. You just were one deep. That's it.
I don't
I don't even know what you're trying to say right now. I really don't.
I'm just saying, you come in the door of hip hop and you're contributing to the culture of hip hop, and you came just yourself and you're just talking shit. Like he's talking about Mano, right? So when Mano sees you and punches you in the face, now Mano's wrong.
My thing is, why would Mano want to do that?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, right.
Now,
you own it.
Now, if you don't even get fly,
it's not a threat. It's not. I mean, if I'm 50-something years old, academics is no threat to my life. Or no
I got
threat to
homies that's 50-something years old, and they'll go across your face. Like
if somebody on the internet talking crazy about how I dress, I'm not gonna go risk my freedom on academics.
Ron, if somebody says I'm taller than Ron and they're 5'1", that you see that doesn't even make sense.
I know, but I'm not gonna go out there. If somebody's on the internet and people have been on the internet talking crazy about me, I'm not gonna go out there and see them because I ain't got no time. It's no point for me to do that.
We don't got time. But if I happen to bump into you, maybe that day I have time.
I mean, I gotta shoot academics some bail though, like for real, to be like from what you saying, because I don't think that, like, really, I think that he get attacked a lot by celebrities just because he's talking on the fucking internet. Like, they don't do that to Harvey Levin over at TMZ. Ain't nobody threatening him and running all up on him and shit every time that they report or something. If they do something and he laughing and reporting about it,
he'll tell you I'm scared. He'll tell you I'm scared in the street. If
right, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not trying to be no real street nigga. Or
he'll tell you
he's a civilian. He's saying
I'm not tough.
It's celebrity. It's the reaction that the celebrities give him that's making them even blow up. Man, no shit. If academics is such nothing, why are you even entertaining going back and forth with the dude?
Because he keeps talking, like the way it's just like outside, right? If someone keeps talking shit about you and they not even better at you at doing nothing, you're gonna be like, bro, like you're not even iller than me. Like, why you keep talking?
But they ain't iller podcasters than him, so he do something better.
Like, you're talking about street nigga activity from a computer?
That's his job.
What do we see?
That's his job.
Foreign.
Right, that's his job.
That's not foreign. That's what TMZ. That's what TMZ. That's what TMZ.
I know, but TMZ, they'll tell you we are not connected to the street at all.
Why is this energy for? I'm not trying to shoot an academic no bail. We ain't got the same energy for Vlad, and Vlad got folks.
Vlad will tell you there's nothing about me that's street. Vlad will tell you I'm not a street dude.
Academics say the same thing.
I'm not and Vlad will tell you I'm gonna be respectful because I'm not gonna get on camera and talk tough because I know when I see you it's not.
How many folks they say Vlad interviews and led to some type of situation for the people that got on Vlad's platform?
It's not just about academics. It's about just the nature of what I'm saying in general. Now, if you're a dork, you're respected. That's a foreign world to the world we come out of.
No, we come from the TMZ Entertainment Tonight Inside Edition world.
But you're talking about real journalists that don't even just cover music. They
ain't
cover
no real journalists.
You got an issue with Van Lathan because he checked Kanye West.
No, I don't.
That's what you got.
I look at the hey Super. You look at the board. You ever watch an episode of TMZ? I don't see no damn real journalists.
But they're not talking shit though. They're not talking shit.
They laughing. They're
laughing, but they're not disrespectful. Disrespectful is a different.
He just said he didn't like the clothes that he was wearing. Man, this is a joke. It's a joke.
I'm just saying. Well, street niggas, we don't joke. It's no joke.
Damn. So I don't want to see. I don't want to see no street dudes in no comedy show. I don't want to watch no Netflix specials.
Comedy.
Man, listen.
I'm just saying it's cool, but when he bumps into Mano, right, and it goes away that I'm telling you it's gonna go.
And what benefit does that have?
If he have the security like Mano has now, it's gonna go away.
And if Mano do something to him, and then Mano get banged up, he go away for 5. He gonna get out when he's 60.
That's what I'm saying. So you're talking all this mess, and you gotta walk around with security.
He rich, man. They need to leave that boy alone. I don't see nothing wrong. I like
I don't see
But I'm
nothing
just
wrong with
saying
it.
that you're describing a
I
dork.
like academics. I watch this show
If you
sometimes.
are
You're describing a dork.
rappers, old rappers, let me tell you something. If you are wasting your time trying to physically harm DJ Academics, you're
Right.
wasting
Right.
valuable time. There's no money in it. There's no business in it. It's not a very smart move.
We from a different era.
And you don't earn no stripes on touching DJ Academics. Come on, man. That ain't
This is the era though where you could call somebody a bitch and they just have to just take it.
Not really.
We're not from that era.
He ain't do that though.
Listen, like I said, usually
he ain't call him the B word.
Anybody
I ain't see no clip like that.
I usually don't see him disrespect nobody first. He usually reacting to something somebody else has said about him or reacting to something. Like he really don't get disrespectful.
But in general, right? In general, it's not just academics. When you used to say something crazy, people get punched in the face, right? Now you gotta just sit there and take it. What?
Crazy. He was responding and he responded back to somebody talking.
I thought this was about clothes or something. I'm not, maybe I'm lost.
If you don't get more flyer than the person you're talking about, then what are we really talking about?
I mean, everybody. So Leroy, let me just walk you through this concept. So everybody that rails on me about my glasses and my hats in the comments,
they better have better glasses.
I need to go smack them. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying it's a smart idea to smack somebody at all. That's actually a bad idea. But what I'm saying is, as far as checks and balances go, like sometimes people would get smacked and then they had to blame themselves because they was talking crazy. But now you can just talk crazy and then the other person is supposed to accept it. Like
I just don't even understand why people even get into it with this dude. You can't, like, he undefeated damn near. Like, just let him talk his shit, and you be better off ignoring it.
If academics is getting respected, but Ebro doesn't, like I'm not caping for either one, but that doesn't make sense to me.
I don't get
because Ebro came up in the real world. It wasn't no internet when Ebro was. It wasn't no internet.
Trying to do what academics do.
I know, but academics is only talking. There is no, he has no group. He has no MCs, no producers, nothing.
Ebro too. What's the difference?
Bro, the icons came through by way of Ebro.
If academics wanted to invite rappers on his shows, you don't think they would?
He had rappers on his show.
You don't think that they
the ones that are we already know?
If academics wanted to transition and to start doing nothing but interviews with rappers, he could do that easily.
Yeah, but what Hot 97 did, it wasn't just interviews. They introduced us to the icons. You feel what I'm saying? They introduced New York City to iconic MCs.
Anyway, Leroy, let's transition. Let's transition to your weekend. You had a weekend in LA.
Right.
We got two more topics tonight. We want to talk about Leroy's epic weekend. This is the weekend rhyme, and we want to really highlight things that we do on the weekend in hip hop in the community, what's going on. So again, if you're a promoter, if you're a concert promoter, if you are an artist or MC, if you got things going on the weekend in your respective cities, please hit us up at theweekendrhyme@gmail.com. Let us know. We will promote it. We'll highlight it. But Leroy, you did something cool this weekend. What did you do?
So Sway and Tech in LA, they were honoring Crooked Eye, Razkaz, Exhibit, DJ Revolution, Qbert, some break dancers, you know what I mean? That was dope. It escapes me right now, but they were just honoring a lot of people, and it was dope, man. You know what I'm saying? I of course I got to RZA was in the building. I can't even talk to the RZA, man, because it's like looking at Batman. I can't talk to Batman, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, these are our heroes, and what I'm saying is people can look at it as just music, right? But it's a lot of footwork that went into building these people, that there was no internet. I try to explain that to people from this era. You had to get in your car and drive around. Like, it wasn't you had to fit. If you were going to talk mess about someone, you had to physically get get in their face to let them know. Like there was no internet. Like these guys built the foundation on being physically in the clubs all around the place, and it was just dope, man. Exhibit was rapping, Razkaz was rapping, the Elements was in the building, graffiti artists, break dancers. We have lost those elements. That's how I know how easy it is for us to lose stuff. I know how fragile this game could be. You know, we lost breakdancing. When's the last time you seen somebody breakdance in the street? No, we don't see that. When's the last time?
Just moved
When's
on.
the last time you seen a DJ?
1988 was the last time I seen somebody breakdance. 1988.
What time? When?
1988 was the last time I seen.
Yeah, that's
Hey, I saw somebody break dance in a train in New York.
But I'm just saying though, we lost breakdancing.
It didn't last long. That's overrated part of hip hop, man. Breakdancing is overrated. We had this discussion.
That's crazy.
Breakdancing wasn't even around that long, man. It didn't last that long.
That's like sports losing boxing. We don't do boxing, or we don't do nothing.
It was crucial probably for the building years of hip hop until maybe 1987, 86, 88.
Still though, bro. It's millions of breakers out there. So how you lose that? You see, like,
we'll bust one for y'all.
Hey, see, that's what I'm saying. And so what? Part of what lost that is people can't turn down money, so they just paid to get that out of here. Man, y'all stop breakdancing. Here's a few dollars.
No, it's still around. You ain't seen the Olympic.
No. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what they was like. Y'all quit breakdancing. Here's a few dollars, and dudes quit breakdancing. Y'all go sell some crack. Okay, y'all quit. I'm just telling you what happened. Y'all quit doing graffiti. Here's a few dollars. Y'all quit breakdancing. I'm telling you what happened. This is a capitalist society. When they want to make you stop doing something, they'll just pay you.
So Leroy, I'm not trying to be funny. So you said it was a group of brothers on the block. They were breakdancing, and some government white van came and said, "Yo, y'all stop breakdancing."
No, it's not no government thing like that. But it is. The government is behind shit. But it ain't no government shit. But people was like, "Well, we not gonna. If you want to, don't you want to be famous?" People was like, they would go to the labels and they'd be like, "Don't you want to be famous? Well, then you got to quit all that breaking, bro. Don't you want to be a household name and all that shit?"
That didn't have nothing to do with regular people like me wanting to break. I didn't want to break dance no more. I mean, it got played out. It was just played out, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
The government didn't have to come up with no grand scheme.
Oh no. They come up with it. They come up with it. You don't see no Public Enemy outside. You don't see no Chuck D outside. You don't see no Ice Cube outside. You don't see no KRS-One outside. You don't see no Wu-Tang Clan outside.
Yeah, but breakdancing was dead by the time we seen Ice Cube. By the time Ice Cube came out,
no, hell nah. It had
a few more years.
Breakdancing was dead.
It had a few more years. At the end of the day, though, man, it's part of the art form for a reason, because it builds your body to where you physically are fit. Now you got a bunch of unfit people that's having strokes, heart attacks, all type of stuff. All that dancing they was doing was keeping them fit. Okay, but I mean, there's different ways to go through this, right? But I'm just saying, man, this is the era of the sucker, to where the sucker is the hero and the real nigga is the dork. So that's what it's definitely gonna happen now with this AI thing. The sucker is a hero, the real dude is a dork. You know what I mean?
I can't lie, man. Since you said that AI thing, ever since they've been coming out with a lot of these AI videos and like, you know, like
gonna make people lazy.
All of your feed, I kind of don't even like. I've been taking a break from social media. Like, I haven't really been looking. I'm kind of like turned off. I'm tired of even seeing like these AI videos and.
Wait till it start making beats and rhymes and albums.
Well, you know what? I had a guy. Shout out to this brother. I might have him on the show one of these days. I ordered some donuts from. I'm using technology. I have a point to this, right? So I don't have my. We don't go to the grocery store. I order like stuff from Instacart, Walmart, Kroger. I just use the phone, man. I paid the little $3.
Go to the grocery store.
Yeah, I don't go to the grocery store. So I wanted some donuts, man. My wife wanted some coffee and some donuts. So I ordered some donuts one day, and a brother pulled up into my yard and dropped the donuts off. He got out. He said, "Man, I like your shirt." I had a shirt that said "Black Music Matters." I got it in Nashville at the African American Black Music History Museum. There's a big museum in Nashville that celebrates Black music, and it said "Black Music Matters." I bought the shirt. He said, "Yo, man," he had this little swagged out. So I was like, "This brother, you can tell, like a lot of Uber Eats and people who are artists." He said, "I'm an engineer, man. I've been, engineering for about 20 something years." And he just said, "Well, what you think about AI?" And I said, for my work, I use it to summarize meetings, and one of my podcasts, I use it to kind of find key moments, and it kind of speeds up my workflow, adds little filters on the voice and stuff. So I like it in that aspect, but I'm really not feeling what Timbaland is doing with AI artists. I think that's kind of taken away from the artistry. And this brother was old. He was an older brother, and he was like, "You know what? I just think people just got to adapt." Because back in the day, when the MPC came out, the drum machines came out, the whole music changed. He said, "You know how many people lost their jobs, that were studio bassists and guitarists and keyboard players when the damn keyboards and the damn MPC and all these software, Fruity Loops and MIDIs came out, and Logic came out, people were able to program music." So he said, all this is, we had to adjust, we had to go on the road and play music, we had to do other things, and really keep our art alive. It's the same thing happening now. I say, if you're a good artist or a dope artist, you'll adjust over the AI. So he was an old head. He said, "I don't want to hear folks complain about AI because the same thing happened to us back in the day when these machines came out and took the studio musicians away." So I kind of saw what he was saying. We just got to adapt.
But hold on.
There's a difference between the AI, music AI, and the video AI. That I was talking about, like video AI. I'm not like it's a difference. Like the AI musically, yes, that's something we're gonna have to get used to. These AI videos, that's something we shouldn't have to even get used to. Like you see these.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Right. It's like I don't like watching. I've been, like I said, I've been kind of taking a break off of social media just because in your feeds there's been so many fake videos. I'm tired of guessing what's real and fake as I'm going through social media. I'm tired of even trying to guess.
They got the fake IG girls now. You seen the fake IG girls?
Right.
But look, you were talking about getting back to stuff that's musical. The boom bap, you need more musicality. If a live band is up against somebody on a beat machine, that guy on the beat machine is getting slaughtered almost every time. You can't beat a real person that's playing the guitar, playing the pianos, playing the drums, because they playing their life into that machine. You're pressing the button, but you can't move and pivot on a dime like a live band. So when they brought in the digital machines, yes, we adapted, but we killed off so much of our soul music that the music lost soul. Okay, that's one. It started to lose quality too because they had the first models of the hardware, which was dope. Those models were dope. But then as time goes on, it started to lose the warmth, lose the hit, the knock. Now it's softer and softer and softer. In the next year, the music that y'all about to hear, because Spotify bought Who Sampled, and now they sample snitching. What you're gonna hear now, the music is about to be so soft that it's gonna rock you to sleep. Because it's gonna be extremely soft. The knock ain't gonna be there.
Hip hop has got to the point to where we shouldn't even have to be so lean. We shouldn't have to lean on samples so hard. I mean, I think that's part of.
You gotta play an instrument though. How many dudes play an instrument?
I mean, you can still make original beats and you can still do things. People can still.
You can.
So like
you can. When someone can play a real instrument though, that's different.
Hip hop is at this point. We shouldn't be still leaning on samples. Producers shouldn't have to still be leaning on samples just to make good music. It's a lot of dope, that's getting made out here without samples. We don't.
But you have to be able to pay for real music too. We leaned on the samples because we couldn't afford the real musicians. The musicians got to get paid by the hour. If you can't afford the musicians, you got to sample.
The moral of the story is technology is changing. I do agree with Super. The video AI is kind of problematic. I didn't like seeing some of the I didn't even want to laugh. It wasn't funny, like the MLK AI videos, like the
Right.
Prince. I think some of that was disrespectful. The Prince ones, the Michael Jackson. I think I don't even like seeing the IG models. That's because you think it's it's just too much, man. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
but it's the way the world is, though.
And then what it really make me think about is like, what are they trying to do? Like, are they putting these videos out? Are they trying to see like what they can do to drastically trick people? Like how far can they go to like make a video? I'm sure that they already didn't use AI on us already. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. We already so far gone. It's ridiculous.
I'm one example, and I know we're getting a little bit off topic, but just since we even talking about this, one example of where I believe that they used AI on us was during COVID, when they were showing like the hospitals all extra super packed and people running around. They had people all laid in the lobbies and all that shit, and how they would. I think that was AI. When you really think back about it, I think that was all AI that they was using on us back then. We just didn't.
Here's one thing, right? When we were growing up, our parents or older people would tell us, don't believe stuff that you hear. That was embedded in our brain not to believe shit. Somewhere that got lost. Now people believe what they see on the internet is real life. So they got you right there. You know what I mean? And then it's also fact checking. There's a way to fact check. You have to know how to type information in the computer and actually fact check.
Well, now, see, I don't believe the fact checker sometimes.
But now no fact checking is the new fact checking. You just do nothing and you believe what you heard and say that's real, and you didn't check nothing.
I think it's gonna come a point in time where we're gonna all need like AI filters. Like we're gonna need like we're gonna have to like send videos through your AI filter to make sure that it's not AI or whatever.
Well, the bright side is this, brothers. If you ever
AI gonna override that.
The best thing you do, the best thing about AI though, and I'm being all serious, I would never use this because I'm never gonna be caught in a situation like this. But for all the brothers that get caught up, they say, somebody sending your lady a picture of you in the club or out on a restaurant on a date with another female, they just say it's AI. Say, baby,
if we learn to program the AI, if we learn to program the AI to work for our benefit, if we learn to program the AI, hey, how do I become an economic powerhouse amongst my people? And we start programming it that way, well, then things could get very different.
I'm gonna start giving AI advice. Hey, man.
Things could be very different. But if we're programming it for nonsense.
What's these text messages in your phone, baby? This is AI, baby. This is AI. AI is the answer. AI is the answer for everything. It's gonna save a lot of lives, I think. AI. Say it's AI.
Hey, the game song about Candace. Again, he's not clowning. He's not attacking her. The point of the song is just fact check what you hear. That's the point of the song. That's a very powerful message because I don't know anybody who checks to see if the material they hear and see is real. I don't know anybody who does that.
Leroy, you trying to set that bait in front of me so I can bite? I'm not biting on that one tonight, brother.
I fact check. You can't get a sentence out without me looking up to see if it's what you said was really authentic.
Nah, I mean, I'll be sending you sentences all the time, and you be like, "No, that's not true," and I know it's true. You don't be fact checking them.
Nah, bro. I could tell by the wording if someone heard it somewhere else, bro, because the wording will be verbatim. So I know the line came from somewhere.
I don't want to get into our private text, but
you can't find my thoughts anywhere. They're all original.
Mine too.
You can't find my thoughts nowhere.
But yeah, before we get out of here, I got one more topic. John Cena, the Doctor of Thugonomics. I think somebody that really brought hip hop. I know there was other people in hip hop that was in professional wrestling before John Cena, but he kind of made it mainstream. He kind of rapped when he came to the ring. He's the first rapper ever on a ninth one to beat with the song with Murs called Hustle. Kind of came off kind of dope on that record. I ain't gonna lie, the beat was kind of hard. And you had rappers, and now Travis Scott's in the wrestling, and you got Snoop Dogg come in, and you got West Side Gun. He had his final match last week, and I think he said his top 5 rappers on Club Shay Shay was Eminem, Jay-Z, Nas, and Rakim. He said Rakim's voice is dope. So shout out to John Cena. he did, he used hip hop as a gimmick, but I think he really is a hip hop fan. I think he follows one of my pages on social. You know what I'm saying? And so shout out to John Cena. His last match with Gunther was kind of a disappointment. He lost in the submission. I thought it was an interesting way to go out. He went out on the sword. 17-time world champ, regarded as one of the best wrestlers of all time. He had his last run this year. He fought Cody Rhodes. He had matches against Brock Lesnar, Jey Russo. He partnered up with CM Punk. I thought, Damian Guerrero. I like John Cena. I think, if you're talking about, top 20 wrestlers of all time, he may be in there, but as he got older, his matches wasn't like that. Super, then Leroy, what do you think about Super? I'm gonna ask you, what do you think about John Cena as a wrestler? And then Leroy, what do you think about John Cena as an MC?
Well, Super, I don't know that much about John Cena, so I'm just telling you now. I don't know that much.
I'll say this about John Cena. I thought he was cool, especially when he first came out. He was like the wrestling Marky Mark. You know what I mean? That's what I always thought about him, or like he was supposed to be kind of like Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch. If you really remember that video and how he used to dress and how he used to look, it was like he kind of took that image and used that as a wrestler. As a wrestler, I mean, he a little bit after I kind of wasn't into wrestling as much as I was through John Cena's run, but I would still pop in periodically and watch, and I still would catch like WrestleMania or something like that here and there. So he not in my personal top 10 as far as wrestlers or anything like that. But he was definitely dope. I thought he was a good wrestler. He had some decent matches, some decent grudges. He was kind of corny though, keeping it real. Like once he became like You Can't See Me, John Cena became like the kids really like started loving him, and he became like the baby face for the kids. He kind of did get a little corny, and I don't know. I think they kept his run going a little too long. John Cena probably should have went heel like before he got washed. So I would say that.
I agree. Shout out to John Cena. I did like that record we did with Murs, Ninth Wonder.
He was a dope rapper though too.
He came across like Marky Mark. And you know what? Marky Mark, when I think about Marky Mark, if you listen to Marky Mark, all he was a LL Cool J clone.
Right.
That's all he was.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But one thing about Ninth Wonder though.
Either though. Like, go ahead, Leroy though. Go ahead.
Oh, when the technology came on, Ninth Wonder was still pulling a lot of soul music out of the technology. I just want to make that point. It's possible that we could pull some soul music out of the AI still. So you never know.
I get the hype that they're trying to do with this Gunther dude. Like when I watch him wrestle, he looks stiff as hell to me, and his moves kind of weak. Like I don't get why they trying to hype him up. Like he's so dope or something. Like
he remind me of William Regal back in the day, like kind of stiff like that. You know what I'm saying?
But William Regal had moves though. Like William Regal could wrestle. He had a nice move set. You know, like dude don't really do nothing. Like he kind of like he's stiff as hell.
Yeah, he's kind of stiff. He's just big and kind of strong, type of dude. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Yeah, we're gonna be out there for we're gonna do a live weekend rhyme. We're gonna do a weekend rhyme in Las Vegas. I'm taking the boys out. So I'm gonna do this show at WrestleMania in Las Vegas in April. So we're gonna be out there. You know what I'm saying? And Leroy, you're not too far. You might come up a little bit. We don't Super come out, man. We do the show at the hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Vegas is nothing.
And make that happen.
I'll be there. I'll meet you there.
But yo, we're back at it. The weekend rhyme. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make sure if you want to support the show, it takes a lot of work to do the show. You want to support us, you can do so. You can buy us a cup of coffee. The link is there. Join our subscriber list. We're gonna have different events coming up. Leroy will be out on the weekend. Super will be out. Wherever he is, I'll be out. We'll do some on-site correspondence. Hit us on IG. Hit us on X. We having fun. Hit like and subscribe. We'll be back Friday. We got some things to talk about. Go check out. Let us know what you think about the Nas and Premo joint. Let us know what you think about 21 Savage. What happened to the streets? You feeling Pooh Shiesty? Is the game the best in the West? Is he the best in LA? Is he the best in Compton? Shout out to John Cena, his final match. What did you think about his final match? What do you think about Gunther? And let us know what you want us to talk about on the show, man. We're going to bring y'all, exclusive every week, interviews, behind the scenes. Any last things you want to say, Super and Leroy, before we get out of here?
Hey,
Man,
shout out to hip hop though. You know what I mean? Shout out to Nas. I think, like I said, as time go on, next week you might have a different opinion about the album. And you know, I think that we just gotta relax, man. Hip hop, we've been having a great year, and you know, this album for who it is, yes, it's still a letdown, but we still got to look at the positive sides, and at least Nas still rapping. We know Nas gonna give us another album, especially because of this reaction that we getting from him. And he basically said it. I mean, on Junkie, he basically said it like, "Shit, I'm rapping because I love this shit." So I don't see Nas retiring. I hope he do keep rapping, and I hope this don't like, you know, put a damper in what he want to do. I hope he keep going. I hope he stay inspired, and I hope they come back sooner than later, and hope it don't take them too long to make another album.
yeah, I would just say, you know, the title of 21 Savage album. I'm not suggesting go back to the streets on some violent stuff, but as far as hip hop, it's time to go back to the street, man. Get out the game, go to the street. That's what because you're gonna change the dynamic. As long as you're depending on the entertainment media, the entertainment business to make your life great instead of actually getting in the street, that's a no bueno. That's no good.
I mean,
Hip hop got to go back into the street
and like the real way though too, like
in the real way.
Piggyback off of what you're saying, the real way, like because
Out the mud.
It's bad out here. People struggling. People ain't got like everybody living through social media and pretending to be rich and like they got it all, but in real life, in the real streets where shit is happening, that people suffer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
that's what's gonna make the greatness. That suffering right there is what's gonna make the greatness.
Right.
As long as you rich and you know you drinking tea with your pinky up and you're on the beach with your feet up, that's not gonna create the greatness. Right. You need the fire to forge the steel.
The streets gotta stop lying about the streets. Yeah. And these rappers gotta quit playing streets, the internet and these kids and people, we gotta quit playing streets and let the streets be the streets.
Let the street be the street. Yeah.
Well,
just be real. Just be real.
On that note, we'll see you Friday, and we might have a surprise drop from a street artist named Iceman. We'll see. I'm Ron. That's Leroy. That's super. It's the weekend rhyme. I ended on a joke. It's the weekend rhyme. Holla at us. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Peace.
Salute.
Yes, sir.